Oh!
Yeah, boy. Look out. Here we go. Mercy. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. We're going to play that at least once an hour. And also, Flounder also has the sound. This is going to be fun later, too. Flounder has the sound without any announcers, just the sound of the crowd reacting when he hits the ball in the air. And of course, they react. And then they see the spectacular catch, and the reaction goes like going from a car going, like when he makes a catch. And then he throws it in and it goes, it's unbelievable. And it's all just crowd. And it's really, we'll play that for you, too. Anyway, how you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur. Pete, what's new in the mountains of Macon, sir?
What a perfect fall day. It's just gorgeous outside.
It is a beautiful freaking day. And by the way, I want to talk a lot about that stupid Braves game. I mean, and how I jinxed them and I came back. I'm taking full credit because I remember I said I guarantee that the Braves are going to score in the first inning. Well, the other people scored in the first inning. Well, so I
was thinking that as I was walking out here, walking to my car, and I was like,
we never jinx. Anyway, and the mechanical mangler Flounder at the controls. And by the way, you're calling. Are you feeling better?
I'm getting better. It's just everything's kind of in my head coming out.
Yeah,
so.
you sound more like a head cold, but you're no fever and you're
no
not.
fever. That was the one thing I checked before I came in. Is I haven't had a fever. It's just a little head cold.
Right now, as your Miss Veronica got you on all this natural crap, where like strawberry juice or wings of butterflies or something.
No, the main thing is I usually just take Mucinex. Because that's the decongestion that breaks up all this stuff.
That's over-the-counter stuff, right?
But other than that, I don't take anything else. But she's got a couple natural remedies.
I'll bet she does. Got to get rid of that old mucus. You don't want that backing up on you. A guy feel like you're gaining a lot of weight or something. You got to get rid of that.
The last thing I need to do is lose weight.
Well, no, you got to get rid of that excess mucus. That's all I'm saying. You can't go wrong. Anyway, 306. How's it going? All right. Anyway, and it's a beautiful freaking day. And that stupid game, and I said when they said, I said, oh God, here we go. I knew I put the jinx on him, and I know you guys are going to rip me today, last night, about causing the Braves to go. And then all of a sudden, you never give up. And I turned away. I stopped watching. I did some things. I thought about it. I said, well, I'm going to go back. And son of a gun, wham, pow. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. That's really, really, really cool. And you'll hear. Well,
real quick, Mark Richards on YouTube says, big thanks goes out to Kimmer, Pete Davis, Flounder, Miss Veronica, and President Trump for last night's win against those filthy Phillies. You guys got the team riled up for a fantastic victory.
Well, wouldn't that be nice if you had that kind of telepathic power? So yeah. Well, thank you. Who was that again on YouTube?
That was Mark.
Mark, thank you, Mark. And hope how the fans doing on YouTube? Yeah, we don't talk to them. They don't communicate. We don't communicate.
They're doing all right. They're
still kind of.
They have their good days and their grouchy days.
Well, no, we have the grouch factor. The YouTube bandits. Whether we have our grouch factor, which is okay. But again, don't as long as you're still in the family, we can talk about each other, but you're still part of the family. If you get try to hurt us, and of course we'll have to punish you. Well, 307. Just ask Pete. Anyway, and obviously we got a lot to talk about this stupid cutting off. I mean, did you? Hamas terrorists going door to door and taking the babies out of their cots and chopping the babies' heads off, and then massacring the parents and dragging the bodies out into the street so that everyone can enjoy it. And there are people who are supporting this debauchery. And I ask you, and again, I almost say it's talking about it. It's so horrible. I'm trying to think of myself. And again, I'm no combat expert. It's not, okay, so let's not anything about me, okay? But I'm telling you, in real life, things are not like the freaking movies. I can't imagine. I literally cannot imagine the moral depravity of a person taking a sword and chopping off a baby's head, one after another. I mean, I honestly can't imagine it. And can you imagine, assuming the parents are still alive to watch it? I mean, oh my God, how could anybody be supporting this?
Well,
as though you Jews deserve this? Is that what they're saying? You Jews, boy, you really must have done something. Hey, by the way, what the hell did they do? This is not because they, so-called killed Jesus, right? That's not a whole Palestinian Arab thing, is it? I mean, what the hell is the problem? I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's no possible explanation why they just want to eliminate the entire population, anyone's ever been in the population. And that kind of depravity.
Matter.
I'm sorry.
Black Lives Matter has just come out and behind Palestine and Hamas. And they've got a Chicago BLM has put out a tweet that has a paraglider flying the Palestinian flag. That's their new emblem now, Chicago Black Lives Matter. So all you liberals who supported that, including Jewish liberals, that's what you supported.
Wait a minute. Are you Black Lives Matter is now?
Yeah, they're behind it. Yeah, behind Hamas 100%. Yes.
Oh my God! Hey, Coca-Cola. Hey, Delta. Hey, everybody. All you companies that gave 10 million, 42 million, 8 million. We've only got 7 million. Okay, fine, but we'll come back again next year. Okay, please don't hurt us, Black Lives Matter. Please don't hurt us. We want you to be able to buy plenty of mansions so you can retire as a scumbag at the age of 34 in one of the countries you now have a mansion in at the beach, You slime bag. Arrest every freaking one of them. I don't know. There's no charge. Let's just do it. And make them pay lawyers to get out.
I think it's time.
I'm sorry.
It's time to look around, and if whoever's supporting the Palestinians right now, take note of who they are, because they not only hate Israel, they hate America. They are your enemy. These people are on the side of barbarians.
I mean, am I wrong? I mean, okay, for the record, this was a sneak attack. This was a Pearl Harbor, right? I mean, it's not that the Israelis got caught bombing all of their bridges or something and schools overnight, right? I mean, it wasn't a retaliatory attack, although I guess they're claiming that Israel deserved it, but it's not like Israel did something within the last day or two that caused this. So this was a sneak attack planned way in advance, with Iran being. There's no question about Iran being the sponsor or the supporter or the key figure behind it all, and the planning purposes behind it all. Of course, they have the money, thanks to America too, paying for it when we bought our hostages back. Anyway, and so I mean, clearly. There's no possible explanation why this would be justified. Again, they wanted to spoil the treaty and stuff like that. But this kind of depravity, I mean, a sneak attack is one thing, but holy cow, chopping off the heads of babies, and Black Lives Matter supports chopping off the heads of babies because of you Jews? Is that what we're saying now? And by the way, how the hell could a Democrat, how the hell could a Jew ever vote for a Democrat, or now a black person? And by the way, Donald Trump, hold on, is he still on? No, tell him it's okay.
He'll call back.
Donnie, don't get upset. That's a former president. The Donster, come on, man. No, you can quote me. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Okay, okay, all right. Oh, sorry. 312. I mean, seriously, this is chopping off the heads of babies. I can't get over it. And there's a million other things we got to talk about. Oh, Ilhan Omar. Oh, by the way, you're going to hear, we got some great sound bites today. Flounder's come up with, got Lindsey Graham, and I guess he's telling the squad to shut the hell up, basically.
Yep.
Okay, and we also have, Pete's going to tell us about watching some of the reporters covering the case and what we think about that. Also, Newt Gingrich's plan, and a disappointment with a major TV star of ours, which kind of makes things a little funny. Also, the Israeli family looking for their 85-year-old grandmother to be please released. She was taken hostage. They took an 85-year-old grandmother hostage. the Hamas killer slaughterers. And you're going to hear Mia Khalifa, guys. Well, ladies, tell your husband or your boyfriend that the Kimmer's going to be playing a soundbite of Mia Khalifa, and you don't know who that is. But ask your boyfriend.
Yeah, your husband or your boyfriend will
if
know.
He knows who Mia Khalifa is. Okay. 3:13. All right, we have the dingle-dangle of background music, which means, holy mackerel, we got all kinds of crap, and it's all coming up here. And I got my freaking car back, and I think I saw the FBI agents going over the wall after. We'll get to it. 3:13 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out. Shake it off, baby. Taylor Swift. Look out. And you got to give her credit. The woman is, if not the most famous person in the world, one of them. Anyway, it's Taylor Swift on this day in 2014 Taylor Swift was named Billboard's Woman of the Year, making her the first artist to receive that award twice. Award goes to the female artist who has shaped and inspired the music industry with her success, leadership, and innovation over the last year. Let's play a little Shake It Off. I used to love this song, and shake, bake, shake. Hate. And I like a couple of her songs. I do indeed. And by the way, Fireball now has a new lipstick, whiskey ginger. Was it cinnamon flavored whiskey lipstick for a bright red, like Taylor Swift and her boyfriend now wear together when they kiss. Anyway, so we got that going for us, which is nice. How you doing? Look out! It's only the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 318, almost 319 if you're keeping track. A quick birthday or two of note. Peter Coyote, the actor, you know him, 82 years old. He has a great voice for voiceovers. He does a lot of documentary and I think public TV stuff, and I mean he has a great voice. And if you don't know who it is, check his face out, you know who he is. And one more. Governor Gavin Newsom's birthday today. Your next president with Carmela. 54 years old today. Yeah, I wonder if his wife gave it up for Harvey Rapestein. She was one of the couch actresses who put out for Harvey Rapestein. I guess that's why you only see him kissing her on the cheek. Anyway, 319. And on this day in history, 1978, Jimmy Carter, as president, signed a bill authorizing the Susan B. Anthony dollar. It didn't last long because it looked like a freaking quarter. It was like almost exactly like a quarter. What were they thinking? And we all had a bunch of them because it was, a novel idea and things. But it was the dumbest thing. And plus, as I recall, they wouldn't fit in any machine. Pete, Flounder, did you ever have one? This is probably before your time, really. What did I say, 78 or something? Yeah, 1978. Anybody there? Hello.
Well, you asked Flounder, so I was waiting.
I'm sorry. No.
What was the question?
Oh, sorry. I can't tell what you're doing in the dark.
Shoot away.
Did you ever have a Susan B. Anthony dollar?
I do not believe so.
Do you know what that is, actually?
No.
No, okey-doke. I have no idea.
Is it a dollar bill with Susan B. Anthony on it?
No, we'll just ask Pete. No, it's okay. I'm sorry you missed it.
Another great idea from the government.
Yeah. Pete, did you ever have it? I assume you came across it.
Yeah, I had it, but the problem was, like you said, it didn't fit in machines, and there was extra weight to carry around.
It was just stupid. It didn't make any sense. And I used to love it. In fact, I just sent silver dollars to my grandson, Brady, and I think my granddaughter, Miss Molly, just because I don't think they've ever seen an actual silver dollar before. And I also sent him a Kennedy $half, which used to be a thing, too. Anyway. Okay, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, if you'd like to chat with us, we encourage phone calls. I mean, nobody loves to call radio stations anymore, but if you'd like to, we'd love to talk with you. And we're trying to keep up on Facebook as well, or YouTube, I mean. Here's a number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We got a whole bunch more about this whole business, what's going on in the Middle East, and President Stupid Face made some comments, took no questions. Finally came out and said something. What is this, Tuesday?
Yeah.
I mean, and took no questions. And Flounder mentioned, he kind of left out one major country in the turmoil over there.
Never once mentioned Iran.
Never mentioned Iran. I'll be damned.
He did say we stand with Israel.
Yeah. Well, wow. Now see there. Well, that's
after
all we need.
After we caused the problem, we stand with Israel. By the way, the Wall Street Journal and the Washington Post both report that Iran paid for and planned the attack. Judge Napolitano this morning said not only that Ukrainians are selling their arms to Hamas. So we're doing
Ukrainians,
it. We paid for the Iranians to do it. We're paying for the Ukrainians to do it.
No, wait a minute. The Ukrainians are selling this stuff that we're giving them, or we're giving money to the Ukrainian government or some rebel group. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa. Are you telling me that the Ukrainian government, Zelensky and those guys, are deliberately giving equipment to Hamas?
They're not giving it to them. They're selling it to them because they're making money doing it. It's all a scheme. Ukraine is basically a corrupt regime. It always has been.
We knew that,
it's always.
But Jesus,
it's not only the government,
Joseph.
it's the other groups. They are selling it. It's probably some of those Nazis in Ukraine we're supporting, too.
Oh, man. And they were complaining about Iran-Contra. Good Lord, with drug dealers. Ooh, what a pity. Anyway, a couple quick reactions. Lindsey Graham coming up. Apparently his testicles dropped again. They're reacting to people like this. Elon Omar from Minnesota, that slime bag with the MFer when the kids were around talking about Donald Trump. She says she's livid about the Israeli response to the Hamas terrorists butchering the people over the weekend. She says, well, we have to honor the humanity of the innocent Palestinian civilians who have been killed, and those lives have been nothing to do with the Palestinians, you know. And she opposes Israeli military responses, which is hysterical. Oh, by the way, I was going to do this later, but just a quick headline reminds me of the Babylon Bee. I saw last night a headline Tokyo, an old newspaper headline after a devastating and tragic surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Japanese Emperor Hirohito has called for a ceasefire. Well, golly, the loss of life on both sides is a tragedy, he said in a speech ending hostilities. Now that we have pulverized the American naval fleet, we respectfully request that the United States look for ways to promote peace and not take any steps to retaliate until we attack you again. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, this is unbelievable. And again, we got that from Winkin' Blinkin' and douchebag at the State Department, the freaking Secretary of State, who said, well, we need ourselves a ceasefire. Oh, by the way, let's play Lindsay, and then Pete's going to tell us about Newt Gingrich got a plan, and more coming up with the Israeli family. Oh, and you'll hear, again, ladies, tell your husband, if you're listening and he's not there with you, or boyfriend, that the Kimmer's going to play a soundbite of Mia Khalifa. Okay. Gee, honey, do you know who that is? A famous diplomat, maybe? Anyway, here's Lindsey. Here's Dinklemat. Yeah. Here's Lindsey Graham. His testicles dropped, and we're very proud of him taking on the squad.
To the Biden administration, your appeasement policies toward Iran is not working. To the squad, shut the hell up.
Well, there you go. You know, I have so many mixed feelings about Senator Lindsey Graham and motivations behind some of his things. But I'll tell you what, I forgive him only because of what he did during the Senate hearings of confirmation on the Kavanaugh hearings. And he took Dianne Feinstein, who's now roasting in hell, by the way, for that phony business letter with Humpy Feely Ford woman. They claimed they were all gang raping her for 25 years, and she couldn't remember anything exact, actually, the dates or years or anything. Anyway, and Lindsey really, he showed off then, and at least he's doing this. Now, I'm not sure what that means. I know, Pete.
Senator Graham versus the squad, isn't that the definition of a cat fight?
Yeah, this kind of, and again, there's never, as far as I know, there's never been a hint. Well, maybe I just don't know, of any kind of personal scandal or unusual personal attacks in any way of Lindsey Graham. Has there been?
We're getting off base. Yeah. Anyway, Lindsey Graham, you can have opinions on him on that. Katie Powell just posted something that's pretty scary considering we don't know who's coming across the border. Jake Sullivan just said, we did not see any intelligence suggesting an attack of this scale and type. And Katie says, well, keep this in mind when the government tells you there's no credible threat right now. They don't know. They have no clue who came over the border. Have no clue who came over the border.
Not only that, but like yesterday they were showing that everybody coming over this are all middle-aged men. No women, no children, all men.
Oh, Venezuela's emptied their prisons.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
It's a Mariel boat lift
Sleeper
without
cells.
boats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but you talking about Newt Gingrich?
Yeah. What's his plan?
He was on Fox Business this morning with Maria Bartiromo, who went off on Biden. She was livid about it.
Good for her. Yeah, good for her.
Okay, he says we need robot and AI technology to, instead of sending humans in to fight door to door in an urban environment, which is what they're going to have to do in Gaza, he says we need robots to do it. So he says more money needs to go behind that. He says Biden is being investigated, the entire regime, because supposedly the top negotiator with Iran is an agent for Iran, and the FBI is looking into it. Not only him, but several people at the State Department are pro-Hamas and pro-Iranian, and the FBI is investigating them right now, according to Newt Gingrich. Newt says they should freeze, I thought they'd already done this, but obviously haven't, freeze the $6 billion. It's sitting in a bank in Qatar right now. He says not only freeze it, give it to Israel to pay to rebuild what the Hamas and Iranians have destroyed. And he also said if Hezbollah starts rattling their saber in Lebanon and says we're going to invade too, he says, or Iran's going to push anything, he says we should have the B-52s flying over Lebanon right now. If you even raise your head up, we will end you.
Have you ever seen a B-52 flying super fortress, or what they call them? Holy smokes.
Now, with that $6 billion deal, have the hostages, has the switch already happened?
Oh, yeah. I think they're long back and long gone. And the money. And now, again, I thought the money was already released.
Me too. I thought it was already released. But Newt says it's still in Qatar.
Well, no, we get along with them on a good enough basis.
Well, yeah, we protect them.
Yeah. So I mean, you think they would say, okay, what do you want us to do with the money, and give it? And say, well, give it back to us, or give it to Israel, or whatever. Maybe they don't want to get involved as a middleman. But either way, what the hell? I mean, again, you'd think if there was any freaking leadership, and again, President Pudding Brain just comes on today and makes a comment about how we all support Israel, and boy, what a butchery thing! Those poor people who are suffered, and we support Israel. Good night, everybody, and then take the rest of the day off. I mean, this is unbelievable. There's no leadership going on here. And nobody knows what's going on. No, and then all of a sudden the link to our borders is they go, well, geez, how many of these Hamas bastards are coming over here in America now? How about sleeper cells? I think I heard Newt talking about that too. I mean, holy smokes.
Get your guns and ammo and be prepared. By the way, if someone's going around supporting Hamas, take note of who they are, because they are someone you do not want to be around.
Well, I mean, again, remind them of the stories that these Hamas terrorists are not advocating for a political settlement. They're chopping the heads off babies. I mean, they're literally taking babies out of a home's crib and then cutting their heads off and then slaughtering the parents and dragging the bodies out into the neighborhood streets. I mean, this is not human. There's no rules of war here. I mean, blow up the whole freaking country. Honestly, bomb them back to the Stone Age. They regret the day they were freaking born, and then say, by the way, the next person who tries this kind of crap, you're getting the same thing.
Unfortunately, that was our previous president.
Oh, God, that's right. I'm sorry. All right. I'll just go ahead and go to hell now and shut my mouth, jump off. Yeah, there you go. 3:30 can repeat flounder. Sorry, we'll change. We'll change, really. Ladies' choice, yeah. 3:33 with the gentle sound of the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder show. That's my man Solomon Burke, baby. Kind of a jazzy, kind of a soul right there. The man's name is Solomon Burke. And it was on this day at 2010. Well, sorry. 2010, American preacher and singer Solomon Burke died at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport while on a plane from Washington Dulles Airport that had just landed. Oh, my God, man. He died on the plane. Holy crap. Known as the King of Rock and Soul, you may have heard something about that. He had a string of hits, including in 1961, a single called Just Out of Reach of My Open Arms. And in 63, the big R&B hit, Gotta Get You Off My Mind.
This one's my favorite. It's called None of Us Are Free.
None of Us Are Free. It should be None of Us Is Free, but, well, the man was, probably didn't have really good grammar. I'm sorry. The fact is, it's a singular noun. It's not none. It means not one of us. Therefore, it'd be one is. So anyway, I'm sorry. I had to say it. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm an a-hole. Pete, I know, Flounder, did you ever see the movie My Favorite Year?
Well, my favorite year is...
Probably right now with Miss Veronica. Why don't you just go ahead and rub it in, why don't you? Okay. Yeah, all of you with wonderful, loving girlfriends, raise your hand. Oh, okay, what are you doing, Peterson? Oh, sorry. Very funny. My favorite year. Oh, I hope Miss Veronica's listening right now. We'll get special kisses. Tell her you love her. Come on, I love you, baby.
Oh, my kid.
Love her. And then you put a little sugar, you put a little wine.
Put the meatballs in.
Put in your beef, your meat. Oh, my God. Pete, I know you love that movie. I love the movie My Favorite Year. It's just a classic chick flick, but it's not really a chick flick, but it's a great movie to watch with a girl that cares about you, I think. Anyway, who knows? It's been so long.
Anything with Peter O'Toole is worthwhile.
I mean, that's one of the greatest acting jobs of all time. And every character is exactly perfect for their character. And the reason I bring it up is because remember the little brunette girl who played his girlfriend, who was very hesitant to be, dating him at all at first, and she was sweet and shy and cute and just a perfect little lady to me, just proper and prim and the long skirts and the high collars. I mean, it was just perfect in every way. Her name is Jessica Harper. That's the girl who played that part. Today she is 72 years old.
Aww.
And I'm thinking, oh my! And you can find a picture of her if you like. And again, the movie's called My Favorite Year, and it's a showbiz thing with Peter O'Toole and who's the guy who plays the star of the TV show? He's a great comedy actor, and I never remember his damn name.
Joseph Bologna.
Joseph Bologna, and he's his role again. It was it was perfect. The guy who played his assistant, the sort of balding guy with the mustache, who played on either Mary Tyler Moore or one of those other shows later on. Very famous character actor. Anyway. And one more quick birthday, Julia Sweeney from Saturday Night Live. It's Pat. Is 64. It's Pat.
Yeah, she was way ahead of her time.
She was way ahead of her time. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's Pat.
She couldn't do that now.
No.
She could not do that skit right now.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, well, hell, that's right. Hell, they couldn't do most of them right now. The samurai dry cleaner or whatever it was.
Samurai dry cleaner. And he was high on coke. He was waving a samurai sword around.
Well, listen, when I had him all in the studio, and he was out of control. I mean, Aykroyd was trying to calm him down. This is 1976 or 7 or 5, somewhere 6 or 7.
Cokaine's a hell of a drug.
Oh man. Well, he didn't like that. He just liked the way it smelled. Anyway, I don't know the thing with the thing here. Let's see.
And we have Nick Cellini coming up at 3:40 to talk Braves talk.
Oh, excellent. And a couple of minutes. And again, I'm going to play that call. In fact, I'll tell you, let's do this right in front of us. Again, we'll talk more about the Hamas stuff. I don't want to start talking Hamas and then talk to Nick in a minute. So, and he confirmed he's available and everything?
Yep.
Because, again, we'll do whenever they're available, they can call in anytime they want. We're going to hear from Mia Khalifa. And again, ladies, this will be funny. Ask her, say, the camera mentioned he was interviewing somebody, I think she's a famous diplomat named Mia Khalifa. Have you ever heard her in the State Department or anything, honey? And just see if he knows what you're talking about. Do we have time for the sound? This again, what you're going to to hear is no announcer, only natural crowd sound. And the setting is obviously going to be when Austin Riley takes the plate. The first thing you're going to hear is a reaction, and I'll stop talking as we hit it. The first thing you're going to hear is a reaction as he swings, and it's a lot hard.
No, this is the final play. So this is when Phillies are up to bat and Harris caught them.
I'm sorry.
But what Riley did was he's the one who made the out when Harper tried to get back to first.
I'm such an idiot. This is the sound of the double play, basically. So you're going to hear the high fly ball, and the crowd's reacting to a great high fly ball. Wait a minute. And then you're going to hear the second level is going to be of the catch, and then the third level is going to be, oh my God, look what we just experienced. And
we're out of time. I'm sorry.
Quiet.
What a way to end a playoff game.
I have never in my life, and I was there when Hank Aaron hit his home run over the fence with my starter wife, the one who actually loved me. Anyway, and with a radio guy that I got a ticket for. Anyway, and I've heard loud crowds before, but even aside from the noise of the crowd, I don't know about you, Pete, but I have never, in my memory, seen an ending play to save a playoff game like that.
Well, that's the only time it's ever happened.
Was it an 8-5-3 double play?
Yeah, it's the only time it's ever happened. It's the only time that an outfielder has started a double play to end a postseason game. Time.
And I'm trying to think of any other fantastic ending of a postseason game, come from behind, bottom of the ninth, superstar something or other play that matched that one. Not the same thing, but can you remember any other postseason Sid Bream.
Sid slid.
Yeah, Sid slid. Braves win. Yeah, they hit Skip Carey.
The Robbie, the shot heard around the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true, too. But again, this one I think was even better because that was a home run.
How about the one, I hate to say this, but the one that, what's his face? I forget his name. Kirk Gibson. And,
the one-handed limping home run over the fence when he was actually back in the locker room and he said, oh, hell, I'll take a shot at it. It's a pretty funny story. Do we have Nick is on the phone?
Holy Nick.
Hey, Pete, Nick Cellini is on the phone with us. And Nick, we were just talking. I don't know if you had a chance to listen. I know you guys are so busy. Again, anytime you can make the call in this week, we are thrilled to have you at any time you want. You do your own schedule. We'll adjust any way you want. I couldn't freaking believe that thing last night. It was I'm playing hits that call of every hour at least, and I'm trying to think of another time when I have seen or heard and witnessed, even not in person, a more exciting ending, especially in a playoff game. Now, sir, tell me what you think, your reaction, and how you feeling today right now. Wow.
Well, first of all, thanks as always for having me on. I am not sure my heart can take a lot more of what we saw last night. It was absolutely incredible. I mean, you think about the Braves and how many big moments they have had over the years. That's as big a moment, albeit in a first round of a playoff situation, but that's as big of a moment as you're ever going to see. In fact, that was history. A game has never ended like that game ended last night. So just think about that.
Yeah. And Pete and I were talking. I'm trying to remember any other playoff game. You know, the shot heard around the world is one thing, but that was a home run that ended it. This was an incredible series of things, boom, boom, boom. And I've never experienced a game that ended that way as exciting as that was, no matter what the other. Can you remember another playoff game that was an exciting ending as that one?
No, I mean, really, Kimmer, you're right. When you think about not only the catch, but then the backup, Austin Riley being in the right place at the right time. I said it on Twitter. If you're a little leaguer or if you're a parent of a little leaguer, you should have your child that plays baseball watch that, because for all of the right reasons, how everybody was in the right place at the right time, to all of the wrong reasons, as in Bryce Harper with a major base running blunder. I mean, that play had everything. If that happens in like the fifth inning, that's a big play, let alone the game ending like that. And you couple that with the Austin Riley home run to give them
I know.
for the first time after being no hit.
Yeah, the one-handed home run. The one-handed home run. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he just goes down and gets it on that 3-2 count. And Austin Riley was a guy that was struggling. against the Phillies going back to last year in the postseason, so he more than made that situation right.
Yeah. And by the way, my own opinion about the Bryce Harper thing, he was trying to be a superstar and get around to get the score, and he clearly misjudged that Harris could get it, but still, I mean, it didn't look like he was even thinking about it to be, because you don't want to make the out, to make the last out of the game, so I think he was just trying to be a show-off, and as far as the cutoff man thing, again, there are two things that I think parents should be impressing upon their little leaguers is one, being in the right place at the right time for cutoff. If he had been 3 feet differently than he was, Austin Riley had been 2 or 3 feet away from where he was, that Harper would have been safe at the place. So I mean, it was extremely important. And the second thing is that I would impress about parents. Why am I speaking so fast? My God, I'm still so excited from that stupid ending. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I don't know how they gave me this job. No. But the other thing is, hit the cutoff man. How many times, even big leaguers, when they're throwing it in the outfield, it's like 25 feet up the line, or it's just, anyway, those two things, just the basics. It never changes. Those things make the difference in a game, make the difference in a career, the difference in winning the World Series. Anyway, that's how important it was. Anyway, all right, keep talking. Pete, I'm sure you want to talk with our special guest. We'll be listening to in the morning again too. Yes,
amazing things that I've found out about this. We have earthquake monitors around North Georgia, and last night when that play happened, it set 2 of them off at equal distance away from the ballpark. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. But you talk about Bryce Harper going too far past second base. Did the Phillies manager, Rob Thompson, throw him under the bus? Because afterwards he's basically said, well, most of the time they don't go that far.
Yeah, it sure sounded that way, didn't it? Rob Thompson, I think, is a guy that, got this job on an interim basis, and he's honest to a fault, and, he sure did call Bryce Harper out. He didn't mention him by name, Pete, but you're exactly right. He said you can't go past second base like that. And last I checked, there was only one guy that did that last night, and that was Bryce Harper. So that doesn't exactly have to be a detective to put that whole thing together.
Wow.
A game 3 coming up. Is it going to be, we know Aaron Nola's going for the Phillies. Is it going to be Bryce Elder, A.J. Smith-Shawver, or a bullpen game for the Braves?
It's interesting. I don't think at last check anything was made official yet, but the rumor started to swirl today that Charlie Morton was going to be activated and they would put someone like Daysbel Hernandez on the injured list. So if that is true, and Charlie Morton did travel with his family to the game in Philadelphia, we saw him on that red carpet affair as they left Truist Park today. If that's the case, then maybe he gets the start, and then you've got a power arm like A.J. Smith-Shawver to come in relief. That seems to be one of the thoughts right now, aside from Bryce Elder. And that would be interesting because Charlie Morton hasn't pitched in 18 days. I'm not really sure. We saw Max Fried was rusty last night. One has to believe Charlie Morton would be rusty as well.
All right, wait a second. I'm confused. Is it again? I'm hardly a baseball expert, but all of a sudden now we had a change in the lineup, and it may have had an effect on losing the first game, and now we're talking about a whole new change and something for the next game against Phil. Isn't this unusual? I mean, isn't this kind of? And Austin was back on the 3 spot, but if they do that for game 3? I mean, those are 2 fairly major changes in your basic Braves team, aren't they, or am I overreacting?
No, you're not overreacting at all. I mean, that is something that would be completely against the norm. I mean, even last night, A.J. Minter starts the 9th and walks Bryce Harper, and Raciel Iglesias comes in, and for the first time all year pitches to enter the game with a man on base. So, there have been some unusual things done thus far in this series, and a lineup aside, starting Charlie Morton when he hasn't pitched in almost 3 weeks would be, I think, atop that list.
Wow. Anyway, final thoughts on what we're looking for, or what
heart
we need
and
to
nuts
do,
is what we're looking for. Heart and nuts.
Yeah, there you go.
It would be nice that they celebrated on Philadelphia's field when they clinched the National League East. It would be nice to win 2 games there and clinch on their field again. But I'm sticking to my original prediction. I think you get a split here in Philadelphia, and then it comes back for a game 5, and then all bets are off at that point, as you're going to have Max Fried probably on the mound again.
Outstanding. Pete, any final thoughts with our special guest, Nick Cellini?
Well, Nick, you've been to hundreds of games at Turner Field in Truist Park. Did you ever feel anything like you felt last night at either one of those places?
Aside from the World Series in 21, and that was a little bit different because, don't forget, they won the World Series in Houston. You had moments But last night, for a game to end like that, I was down by section 120, and I was upstairs with some of the 680 fan clients and personalities. We use that term loosely. But to change the mojo, I went downstairs to section 120, so I was kind of closer to the field. No, I will tell you that was the most incredible deal because, like I said, initially people were just kind of looking around saying, did that really happen? And then you had the seismic, as you said, literally seismic eruption after that.
Yeah. What a thrill! What a thrill! I'm so happy for him. I'm just happy for him. I think what a great turnaround and a great thing. And I'm still excited about it. And I'm still getting myself like an old goof. And I don't care. I don't apologize. Nick, thank you so much, my friend. And we'll get in a chat hopefully tomorrow, every day, or anytime you want. Call in anytime, and we'd love to have you on.
Absolutely. A pleasure as always. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Thanks, man. Great to talk to 349 with the Kimmer, Pete Flounder, and Nick Cellini on 106.3. $3.52. Look out. By the way, did you notice how I refrained from talking with Nick Cellini, the big sports guy, about how I'm the only one in the room who's hit a home run at Wrigley Field or anything?
You have shown remarkable restraint.
I've been trying. It's the new me. It's the new me, mostly from exhaustion and vengeance and, waking up every 20 minutes screaming.
Acting like an idiot.
Yeah. Well, I'm not changing.
Sending deranged tweets at 5 a.m.
Well, I wasn't deranged. I was just trying. Well, Well,
I mean, seriously, I took it up. I got up. I did my podcast. I was feeling great. The Braves won. I was watching the replay on the Spanish station. Everything was great. And also, my phone calls off at 5 a.m.
It's 4
and I look,
something.
and suddenly there's a 78-year-old deranged man raving. And I'm like, what the hell?
Well, thank God for the Braves distraction, or it would have been a lot more a lot earlier.
Let's move
anyway,
on.
play the song, Flounder. Play the start all over again. Here we go. What's standing the thing there? I mean, there's a reason we have to hear the words here. Well, here's why we're playing the song. Flounder, again, does our music list, and he's come up with this little nitty-gritty ditty, which I think is pretty cool. 2007, Sting topped the list of the worst lyricists ever. For such alleged sins as name-dropping Russian novelist Vladimir Nabokov in the Police line, "Don't stand so close to me," quoting a Volvo bumper sticker, "If you love someone, set them free," and co-opting the works of Chaucer, St. Augustine, and Shakespeare. Chaucer, "Thou sweetest of thy lickest of the..." Anyway, the survey in Blender magazine, is 2007, placed Rush drummer Neil Peart at number 2, worst lyricist ever. Peart, I'm so sorry. It's I can't see. At number 2, Creed frontman Scott Stapp at number 3, worst lyricist, and Oasis guitarist Noel Gallagher. What's the matter?
Wait. Where's Paul McCartney on that list?
Well, now hold everything. Oasis guitarist Noel Gallagher at number 4, saying Gallagher seemed incapable of following a metaphor through a single line, let alone a whole verse. Well, they only mentioned 4, so maybe he was number 5. Paul McCartney's silly love songs.
Go read the lyrics to Band on the Run sometime.
No, thanks.
Sailor Sam.
Yeah,
he writes like he's in 3rd grade.
He just had to rhyme. It had to rhyme at the end. The boing, either down the booty, but what about a doing? You know, I mean, come on. Who can't do that?
And I like Sting's lyrics. Synchronicity was a classic album. There's great lyrics on that album.
Murder by Numbers, that's another good one.
I wouldn't even know. Is that Miss Tiffany in there?
Yes, it is.
Hi, baby. How you doing? Tell her Kimmer said hi, baby. She waves.
Leaves the room.
Yeah, she's working.
Well, I know she's not going to pay attention to me. I just wanted to say hi to her. Our former work wife. We love Miss Tiffany, and her little girl came in here the other day, and she's so sweet. She's 4, I think, she's just a sweet lady, and we always love to say hi to Miss Tiffany. Yes, we do.
Speaking of sweet,
yes.
After 2 years and 2 fires, the Krispy Kreme is back.
Yeah, that's right. That's Shaq's one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, did we mention that the other day? And is it now officially open?
It is.
I'll be damned, because they mentioned they were going to open it, and well, that's good news. And tell us the location again, Pete. I can't remember the name of the corner there.
Well, it's down there on Ponce de Leon. I forget the side street there, but it's right before you get to Peachtree, so it's pretty famous. It's across from one of the most infamous bars in Atlanta, the Eagle.
Now, I don't know anything about the Eagle.
My cop friends used to tell me about when they had to raid the Eagle, the things they saw when they went in there.
Well, I'm not sure I want to know, really.
No, you don't.
I know. All right, 3:56. I'll tell you what. We'll just go. We'll do a little bit more on
quick,
this.
Actually, we have Tom on the line, who is Nick Cellini's neighbor, and he wanted to chime in on the Braves.
Excellent. Well, let's. And by the way, if you want to call us and talk Braves, call and talk Braves. Honest to God, it's a talk show, and if you want to talk that's what we're talking about. So believe me, I'm so thrilled about this. This is Tom. Did I hear that correct? Tom, welcome aboard. You're on the radio, my friend. Thanks for calling. What's up? Hello, Tom. Do we miss him? Hello, Tom.
Tom, can you hear us?
Ground control to Major Tom.
Well, we'll keep trying for a second. Maybe, but that's phone. Maybe he had. I think he's.
Looks like we may have lost him. I mean, he's on the line, but he can't hear us.
I'll be damned. Oh, well, we'll keep trying. Again, my apologies. We'll try to figure it out. 404-74.
Just like the song.
Well, it's just like the song. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. And Tom, if you want to call us back, we'd love to talk to you about your neighbor, Nick Cellini. Anyway, in the meantime, let's do that. We have a couple minutes. Now, if you don't know, again, ladies, ask your husband if he gets home. Not that. Now, I'll say, why am I assuming that you're a housewife waiting by the radio, listening to the Kimmer and his friends, and then when hubby gets home, you'll tell him about this and so. Sorry.
Sexist.
Yeah, I'm a sexist. I am. All right, I'm sorry, and I'm not changing. Anyway, whoever's listening, in fact, forget the whole thing. Mia Khalifa has been, she was a famous porn star for years, and overly endowed, has gigundous macula galagawangas. Now, Pete says they're totally real. I don't believe it.
They're fake.
Yeah.
They're totally fake.
They're totally fake. Anyway,
I
thought they're real because no, they're not. Anyway, she was a famous Arab porn star girl, and then she got a fatwa put out against her, and so then she got out of the porn business, and then she got hired by Playboy, which is not exactly the same thing as porn, but she was a content creator, and one of the, everybody knows about Mia Khalifa from her years in the actual hardcore porn, and now she's come out expressing support for Hamas and the murderers and what they just did. Here's Mia Khalifa out loud.
For everyone arguing that all of this started because of Hamas didn't exist until 1987, 20 years after the apartheid started, 20 years after the occupation. Hamas was born within the occupation as a means of resistance.
Okay.
Screw your resistance.
Yeah, well, if she hadn't said something, they're going to kill her. They're going to set her on fire and cut off her fingers and toes one at a time and put it on social. I mean, come on. Well, she's scared to death. They already put a fatwa against her and then lifted it when she got out of the official porn business. Do you think she's not going to support them now?
You know why I hate her?
Why?
Because her and the Ole Miss quarterback got into a Twitter tiff a few years ago, so I've hated her.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Even an Ole Miss quarterback had to admit that he's in front with a porn queen named Mia Khalifa.
I forget. He said something about her. She said something about him.
Oh,
they got
boy.
ugly. So.
Well, I'm not surprised. She's not at all one of my, not that somebody, God, we actually had more time. 4 o'clock with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We'll have to come back because I'm trying to look up her name now. Is it Malufa Kaldarfa? Well, I can't. How do you spell? 4 o'clock.
A-H.
Iglesias looking into his catcher, ready to fire. 2-2. In the air, out towards right center field. Harris going to go back. Harris back to the warning track. He leaps. Michael's got it! He's got it! They fired it in, and it rolls across the infield. Taken by Riley. He throws to the bag. They double him off. Ball game over. Braves win. I've never seen a play like that. Braves even up the series. It was back to the wall. Harris went to the wall. Harper took off. He made a leaping catch to the wall. Fired it in. It rolled past Albies. Backing up the play was Riley. He secured it through to the bag. Doubled off Harper. And the Braves even up the series.
Craziest double play. Man. Still just shit. Man, I mean, and again, I had tuned out. I started watching the game, and I felt guilty because I claimed I knew that Braves were going to score in the first inning last night. Of course, the other team scored anyway, and so I turned away for a while, and I came back to watch the end of the game and make sure I saw enough to have fun talking about it. And then that happened, and we'll talk more about it later with Kimmer, Pete Davis, and Flounder 404. Our phone number is 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Do we have a line problem? Do we know, or Tom have an issue? Or do
no, I'm not sure what happened, but
okay. Anyway, if you we'd love to take your phone calls. Earlier we talked to Nick Cellini about the game and stuff, and we'll talk with Pete a lot about that too. First, I'm sorry, I played a little music here, Flounder. I've interrupted our REM here. Ouch! Sorry, I'm sorry. I like RBM.
They like you too.
Well, I'm sure they like you, Giver. They really like me. 1992. My God, that old.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Are you serious?
Song's about Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, I know. By the way, claimed that he never lost a wrestling match with a woman. He would do that for stunts, and he was a wrestler. He was actually a pretty good wrestler. He was actually a very good wrestler, and he would challenge any woman to wrestle him, and it was part of one of the things he did. But he was a freakoid, man. He was a very strange guy.
He played the bongos.
He in his head mostly, I think, probably. But I remember seeing some of his routines. Wow! And of course, he was on Taxi. Wasn't it Taxi where he played Laga or whatever his name was?
Latka.
Yeah. Anyway, REM on this day, 1992, scored their second British #1 album with "Automatic for the People," including "Drive," "Everybody Hurts," "Man on the Moon," you heard, and "Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight." It was a very good album.
Little history for "Automatic for the People." That's a soul food restaurant in Athens.
Athens, Georgia?
Yep.
Oh, no kidding.
Big black gay guy, and when he'd walk in the door, he'd be like, "Automatic."
Now, is this because after their...
No, the REM named the album based...
After him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be damned. Well, that's very cool.
You know what the best part of that call, one of the best parts of that call from Ben Ingram?
What?
Is Joe Simpson in the background doing his best Paulie Walnuts impression.
I mean, everything about it. I mean, the catch, I never thought he was going to get it. It looked like it was out of here. And then, it was just astounding, especially, it just looked like he was, flying, leaping, and then, wow, he's got it. Oh, my God, he's got it. And then again,
I'm going to tell you in sports how hard a catch that really was.
Well, give us a little tease now. We got an hour, a good 10. The people may have stuff to do. Tell us.
It was a very hard catch, Kimmer.
God, great. Wow, all right, coming up, you'll hear more about...
Let's just say the probability of him catching that was less than 50%.
Well, and I haven't seen it in slow motion. I don't think that I recall. But what was remarkable to me that it seemed like he was twisted all over the place and came up with it, and that was one of the things that seemed a particularly athletic move. Spontaneous.
Well, he seemed to know it was coming. He actually said to himself before the play. He said, "Something's going to be in the gap, and I'm not going to let it hit the ground. I'm going to catch whatever is in the gap." So he was ready to run in the gap as soon as the ball left the bat.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, wasn't he Rookie of the Year? Or are they still doing
Last
that?
year, I think he was. It was between him and Strider.
I think he was Rookie of the Year. Anyway, what a great young career he's got. He could be there for a long time at center field too. I mean,
let's hope, because they've signed him for a long time.
Yeah, well, hopefully. 408. A couple of quick. We'll talk more about the Hamas stuff, and we got a little politics here, I guess, and a little sexism at Penn State University, and supporting the Marine is still in trouble. Steve Garvey, the father of Los Angeles, is running for the Senate. That's just pretty funny, because I'm old enough to remember all those stories. And oh my God!
There used to be bumper stickers in San Diego that read "Honk if you've slept with Steve Garvey."
Hell, they said "Honk if you have Steve Garvey's baby." Honk if Steve Garvey's your daddy. I mean, it was thousands of them. It was incredible. In fact, for kicks, I Googled it this morning. And God, the Los Angeles Times, everybody was doing Johnny Carson. I mean, holy smokes. It was, anyway. So we'll get a little stuff like that. Again, in case you just joined us or haven't heard, maybe you were at work or goofing around or whatever, Hamas has now been caught beheading babies. They found 40 of them with their babies next to their cribs with their heads chopped off. The parents were killed. All the bodies dragged into the streets of this particular community, this kibbutz. Burned out houses, strewn furniture all over the place, cars set on fire. The Israeli soldiers were trying to comfort each other after watching what had happened. You see the babies, the mothers, the fathers in their bedrooms, their protection rooms, and you see the terrorists killed them. It's not war. It's not a battlefield. It's a massacre. And again, there are no... people say, well, how can you drop the atomic bomb on them? This is not war. This is the devil. You know, he needs to be exterminated on Earth. And I mean, what other possible explanation could there be to what should happen to these people? And all the support, oh my God. I mean, Harvard University, all the students pouring out, including Jewish activist groups and Jewish students in support of Hamas.
It's not just Harvard, it's Princeton and Yale and all the rest of them, too.
The Ivy League. And again, they're supposed to be, you know, the top thinkers and brains of the college.
You know what this reminds me of? Back in the 1930s when Hitler was growing, all those people at Oxford and Eton put out this thing saying, we will not fight for our country if there's war.
Yeah.
And Churchill just went nuts on them about that.
Yeah. Well, thank God. I mean, but again, here we go. But you know, that's one thing. You know, a world war and the peaceniks and the conscientious objectors. I mean, we had the whole thing during Vietnam and we've always had that kind of stuff. But this is different. I mean, this isn't like they're going to be drafted. You know, so they just believe this. They believe philosophically that what Hamas had the right to get back at something by slaughtering babies, taking a baby out of a crib and then cutting his head off. Are you kidding me? I mean, I literally can't imagine it.
I think that a lot of this is driven by not agnosticism, but actual atheism and a hatred, not only of Jews and anti-Semitism, but a hatred of Christians as well. Anybody who believes in the Torah or the Old Testament or the New Testament or anything, because Christians, in fact, Southern Christians, are the biggest supporters of Israel in this country. These people, these overeducated elites, are basically atheists or worse than that, devil worshippers, and they hate Jews and they hate Christians.
Well, it's just astounding to me, absolutely astounding to me. The squad is going nuts, you know, the Democrats. And again, in fact, let me mention this because I thought, I've got to find my, I can't find my, here we go, here it is. Donald Trump's a big fan of the Kimmer, listens to the show frequently when he's driving along in his car. And he texted me, he said he's going to quote me, hope I don't mind. I said, Donnie, it's good. It's all right, baby Don. It's going to be fine. The former president, I'll be more formal now if you don't mind. The former president has been pondering, quote, I can't imagine now anybody who's Jewish or anybody who loves Israel, and frankly the evangelicals just love Israel, I can't imagine anybody voting Democrat, let alone for this man. But how could anybody who's Jewish vote Democrat? And last night he said Biden, who's now president, showers with daughters 80 and has betrayed Israel. citing the rampage by the Palestinian group Hamas, killing now, 1,100, 1,500, who knows? And by the way, apparently now 14 Americans are dead. Do we know of? How many other Americans might be there that we don't know that are visiting or live there or teaching or working or whatever? I mean, do we have a track of every? We probably do, but they don't know what's happened to them, I suppose. And President Trump, a quick reminder, he said, for liberal Jews who voted to destroy America and Israel because you believed in false narratives. Let's hope you learn from your mistake and make better choices moving forward. He said he asked Jewish Americans for support. Again, he said, quote, no president's done more for Israel than I have. Somewhat surprisingly, however, our wonderful evangelicals are far more appreciative of this than the people of the Jewish faith, especially those living in the U.S. He mentioned that he moved the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and he did the Abraham Accord, saw Israel normalize relations with Bahrain, Morocco, Sudan, and the United Arab Emirates. Pretty significant.
And soon to be Saudi Arabia if he hadn't been booted out of office.
Yeah. And still, you can complain about what Donald Trump, you complain about his tweets and his attitude and his hair or whatever, but how can you complain about what he did? I mean, look at his freak. If you took the name off and just said, people had no idea about anything, just listed accomplishments and failures of various presidents over a thing, and honest to God, how would he not compete and compare on the top with anybody? I'm just a thought.
Peace and prosperity for 4 years.
Yeah, my God. And respect around the freaking world. Unlike laughing at the president we have now. 414 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go. Look, I'll stand by. Under at the controls. 106.3 after a big Braves win. This kind of music reminds me of when Saturday Night Live used to make fun of sort of the German automated music where they kind of dance like robots and nothing to fear if I'm Furskin. I guess 1981, I don't even recognize the sound of the Police, went to number 1 in the British album chart with Ghost in the Machine. Was their third number 1, and that was 1981 with the Police. Huge. I don't know why. I like don't stand so close to me and all that kind of stuff. I always like their stuff, but I don't know anything about them. Anyway, okay, quick birthday. Oh, here we go. David Lee Roth, 69 today. Van Halen, Jump. Speaking of Wrigley Field, I used to play that every day when I would cover the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Well, they did. It was Van Halen, Jump. I was trying to get in my home run at Wrigley Field for the day. It's his birthday. I didn't make it up. It's his birthday on the list, and he played Jump at Wrigley Field every day when I was here in 1984. Then going live on the thing with the thing, and so I hit my home run, and so I had a chance to mention it, so I did. So give me one lousy 9-second of happiness in my stupid, miserable life today.
I have to say, we owe a great debt of gratitude to whoever first came up with the idea of playing crickets under somebody.
That is a great idea. Oh, by the way, speaking of great ideas, Flounder said Rocco called, and he says he's got a new name for the Podium Princess, Rajin Tween, who, among other things, Surly Temple, and Rocco says a great name for her is Blackety Ann. And I used to have dolls for my kids who were Raggedy Ann dolls. In fact, my sister had a Raggedy Ann doll, Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy dolls back in 1957 or whatever it was. And so I remember them very well. And anybody of a certain age would remember Raggedy Ann dolls. And she, with her hairstyle and everything, she looks like Raggedy Ann, only of of a certain persuasion. Anyway, that's the scoop. By the way, 422. We got a lot of stuff. I don't know. We'll figure out something. But a quick personal thing. I do have my car back. And a shout out, David Martinez. These guys at Butler Tire. We should get them on as a sponsor, man. He just takes care. They took care of me. And I could have spent days trying to take care of this stupid flat tire. And by the way, I put a picture of it on Facebook. And if you want to see what the road did to that tire. And by the way, I won't complain about it because it's, a middle class, formerly middle class white man disease, complaining about his big car where they got a tire thing, how expensive that is. By the way, do you realize, Pete, have you had your car towed at your expense lately in a flatbed truck because the cars, they don't fit on the turbo drag behind the tow truck thing? Have you had it towed lately?
Lately, thank God.
$200. Yeah, $200.
Don't you have towing, or don't you have AAA? Or?
Well, no, I do have road assistance stuff, but not really. And so anyway, so there were a couple of tow jobs there, plus $190 for the rental car, plus the tire. This was well over $1,000 flat tire. And it was all because of driving down like Barnwell leading on to Old Alabama. That's all construction, all that whole area up there, and Johns Creek and Alfred in that part of town. And it's just, in fact, David Martinez at Butler Tire, they have them in stock just for me because they're super big size tires because that's all goes in the car. And these cars don't have you don't have a spare tire in your car, do you?
No, there's no room for it.
Can't do it. Mine either. So anyway, so you have to, do what you can. But anyway, so here we go. Because of the stinking roads and all the construction, there goes like this month's salary.
I call 1-800-PORSCHE and they come and change it for me.
Yeah, well, this would be, but first you got to find the tire. You have to have the tire. Nobody carries things in stock. Well, they did. This guy, David at Butler, he really took care of me. I can't believe what and it made a nicer, thing than it could have been. And the people at Enterprise were nice, and they had a car and took care of that and whatever. Anyway, so it's all good. And my nightmare of 3 days without my car is now over. Although I'm a little ticked off about how much the whole thing is costing me all over the place. But again, it's the way it goes. This is like my 7th one, I think. 424 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, one last thing. No. A Flounder? Oh, never mind. I'll talk to Pete first. Go ahead, do what you're doing. Have you turned on your heat so far this fall?
Yeah, I did.
Now, in your place in the mountains of Macon, how do you turn on your heat? Can you just hit a switch, or do you have to go do something, or what?
Well, I buy it a drink first, and then I take it to
Hey, baby.
Actually, it's a thermostat on the wall.
Okay, so you just hit a button that goes from cool to heat or whatever?
Yeah.
Like most of us. Okay. Flounder, do you turn your heat on probably by phone at your place, right?
No, but I haven't turned it on yet.
You have not turned it on yet. And I had just turned it on, what's today? I guess yesterday, maybe Sunday night. And when I do, I always think of my children and my favorite ex-wife, the one who did love me, because I'm always afraid that it's going to blow up. When you switch from cool or off to hit the heat thing, you know how you get that first whew of that horrible smelling, heat smell and stuff. And I remember that people of a certain age. Have you ever lit a pilot light?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So have I, and it scared the crap out of me, and I don't want to ever do it again. And honest to God, I remember my father taught me how. I said, I'm not going in there with a match. He said, no, go ahead. So I remember lighting a pilot light, and I remember, trying to tell me a guy over the phone said, well, first light the pilot light. So I'm not going to light that thing. I said, no, really, you go ahead. It scared the crap out of me. You can't help thinking the thing is going to freaking explode.
You know what that first smell you smell is?
No, I don't. Scuzz bag.
Those are the kittens that crawled in there for heat.
Yeah, all the animals looking for a place to stay for the winter. Raccoons. Oh, Lord. By the way, I've seen a bunch of possums in the road hit lately for some reason.
That's their job.
Yeah, well, I suppose. Anyway, not that I wish I'd thought about that right now. Idiots. Oh, yeah, what a stupid... I'm such
don't
God, no, I'm not going to say anything.
Oh,
Riley Gaines, back in the news. Riley Gaines was supposed to speak today... Oh, I'm wearing myself. I'm getting a dizzy flash. Hold on a second. Here we go. Riley Gaines was supposed to speak today at Penn State for what she called Real Women's Day. She made a movement on social media. Riley Gaines, again, the former swimmer, caught everybody's attention and speaking up for actual girls and actual boys. Riley Gaines now leading a whole movement on social media and so forth. And she has her own business, and she's on a bunch of platforms, I guess. You know her, very famous. Okay, so she has a movement on social media to make October 10th, quote, Real Women's Day, because the date October 10th, 10/10/23, in Roman numerals is XX, which is the chromosome pairing for biological females. And by the way, which always, if you look back at history, every time a king had his wife's head cut off because she gave him daughters instead of sons, it was his fault. She only had two X's. He had XY. And so if his ex did it with her exes, they got a girl, so it was freaking his fault. It never was a woman's fault. She didn't have any choice. It's double X whether you like it or not. Anyway, so Riley Gaines called it the XX Real Women's Day. And the university all of a sudden says, oh, no, we can't. No, you can't talk here. You wanted to talk here. No, we can't do that. And by the way, Penn State President Neely Bandaputi got caught in his tracks when he said, posted a video of him explaining that as a public university, the school is bound by the First Amendment to bring in speakers that many will consider controversial, either because their views are not widely held or because the speaker espouses ideas that are actively hateful. And he provided a second moral reason. The president of Penn State said higher education has fought against censorship. I'm sorry, that was on me. Believing that the best way to combat bad ideas is with better ideas. Again, you dirty, lying, stinking snake. This is a girl president, by the way. Restricting the speech of one group or individual jeopardizes everyone's rights because the same laws or regulations used to silence bigots can be used to silence you. Well, yeah, no kidding, but you don't believe that, and you know you don't believe that. None of you damn Democrats believe that. None of you, and you know it. You don't want them to speak. You don't want Republicans to speak on college campuses because you're afraid somebody will listen.
Speaking,
yeah.
did you see Riley Gaines' text today or tweet?
No.
She says, we're celebrating Real Women's Day. You know, the kind that can give birth and breastfeed and menstruate and lack a Y chromosome. The only kind of women. Women are not menstruators, bleeders, chest feeders, cervix havers, uterus owners, egg producers, or people with birthing capacity. Women are just women. Adult human females.
Oh, God, I love her. Oh, my God. I mean, holy cow. Now, I don't know whether she wrote that or, I mean, somebody, because she's now the spokesperson for but I love her. I mean, she's just, I mean, it's just so cool. And I hope it grows. And again, who can disagree? I mean, what sane, reasonable person, what mother with daughters and sons could disagree? You know, you give your kids baths.
Support Hamas.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess. I mean, it's just I don't understand it. I got to make 4:30. Hold on, Pete, Cameron, Flounder. We got Flounder's funnies. I didn't even ask you. You got anything you can figure out there?
I can probably find one or two.
Dig one up or two. I'm going to spring it on you. Flounders have been under the weather, so things are a little hash by.
I'll be back to my good old self in a day or so.
It's no big day. 4:30. The Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go. Stand by. Look out, 3:35 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Aerosmith. This was the day in 1978. Joe Perry and Steve Tyler from Aerosmith were injured when somebody threw a cherry bomb on stage during their gig in Philadelphia. Aerosmith performed behind a chain link safety fence for the rest of the tour and for a long time after that. Just, my God. And now they're still throwing stuff at people now all over again. A whole new genre of people throwing stuff at people on stage doing the concerts. I don't get it. And I don't know why they don't immediately get thrown out and therefore stop anybody else from doing it. Whatever. A quick birthday, Bradley Whitford played Josh Lyman on West Wing, Danny Tripp on Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. Never heard of it. Bradley Whitford is 64 today. And one quick historical note. 1968, Barbarella. The movie was released. Jane Fonda starred as a whore, tramp, lying traitor, and an inexperienced space-traveling lying whore traitor trying to save the universe from the evil Duran Duran, which ended up being the inspiration for the name of the band, Duran Duran. And apparently she did all the members of the band and anyone who's ever listened to a band and anyone who's ever talked to anybody who ever did listen to a band. Jane Fonda decided to do that for you. Anyway, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Okay.
Did you hear about the general that has called for a sitting U.S. senator to be assassinated?
I have not heard about a general calling for a sitting U.S. senator to be assassinated.
Yeah. You know, Tommy Tuberville over there in Alabama has been basically riding the military-industrial complex and trying to rein them in.
Yeah.
The same idiots that left $85 billion worth of arms over in Afghanistan.
Thought it'd be cheaper
after begging, we need all this equipment. Then they literally left 75,000 vehicles over there.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, millions of rounds of ammo and hundreds of thousands of guns. Like 50, 80, 100,000 machine guns. I mean, it's just... And by the way, planes, helicopters, supply trucks... things they could.
I got it right here for you.
Oh, God, please do. Yeah.
They left 600,000 small arms, including rifles. They left 30 million rounds of ammo. Yeah. Uh-huh. They left 200 plus aircraft and 75,000 plus vehicles, a total of $83 billion that the military said they had to have.
Oh, yeah.
We have to have this. And then you have Milley telling President Trump at the time, well, it's too expensive to bring it back, so we're just going to leave it there.
Cheaper to leave it there.
Okay, so Tuberville's trying to ride them. He's been holding up a lot of the stuff there because he basically wants to rein in what's going on, the spending and the craziness and all that other stuff. Well, this has pissed off a General Michael Hayden, who's the former CIA and NSA director under
I remember
Bush
the guy
Cheney.
with the little wire glasses.
Now he's on CNN. He's a CNN guy
boy.
now.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, you had a young person, I forget who it was, saying, is it time to take Tuberville off the Armed Services Committee? And Hayden tweeted, take him out of the human race.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Basically, that's basically, let's kill him.
Yeah.
Because we don't agree with him, because he's going against the military-industrial complex. He's daring to look at the Pentagon and say, you're all full of crap. He's basically being targeted for assassination, and they're openly calling for it for the guy who works for CNN.
You know, and I remember him in the past, too. I mean, it's like all the 51 who signed the document. It's the exact same thing. Politically, they'll do anything for the leftist cause. Oh my God! I mean, that's really unkind. Did he hasn't erased the tweet. Stands by it.
I haven't seen anything since this morning saying anything has changed about what he's doing. He's probably proud of it. It's like Eisenhower warned us about people like this, and the Bush Cheney and the Halliburtons and the Black Rocks and the Vanguards and everything else that's going on with this.
Well, and by the way, one more thing about the Afghan thing, and I won't even get started again about the Marine sniper who could have killed the guy who bombed and murdered those people as they're trying to get through. But it doesn't make any sense. If they thought it would be cheaper to leave the stuff, all that equipment there, than try to haul it back, then why didn't they blow it up? Or why didn't they, before they left, what was the hurry to have our friends come in and say, hey, if you want it, you come and get it? I mean, there could have been a lot of things that could have happened. It wasn't like it was, they had to be out in 9 hours. So we can't afford to ship it all overnight. There was a hurry.
As Maria Bartiromo pointed out today, he did it because he wanted some kind of op to show on September 11th that we were out by September 11th. Yeah. That's what Biden wanted, and that's why they did all this stupidity.
Yeah, but again, there was no political. I mean, it was only a political reason. There was no military reason. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump made it very clear. He said, "Hey, you guys, guess what? We're leaving." Okay, we're going to pull out. We're doing it. We're not causing any trouble. With everything's peaceful. We're doing pretty good here. Everything's fine. So we're leaving. So you leave us alone, and we won't mess with you. But if you mess with us, we'll kill every freaking one of you. And everything was fine. Everything was absolutely fine. And then all of a sudden, President the Finger Diddly comes in and tries to become a big shot on 9/11 for political reasons. They should have blown it all up. They should have blown up every freaking vehicle and plane and used all that ammo to just shoot it in the sky to celebrate or something and let them shoot all the machine guns they want. Just get rid of it. I can't believe it. Followers,
Rob in Dallas wants to chime in on this, and then we got Tom, Nick's neighbor, is back. So.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, Rob, you're on the radio. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. What's up, sir?
Yeah, I know you've seen the picture, Cameron, those parachutes with the motors behind them that they were using. And I bet you every one of them was brand new in the box we left in Afghanistan. They looked like military stuff because it was like 2 and 3 and 4 people riding them. It wasn't just common stuff you see out here. I guarantee you there's no telling how many we left over there, brand new in the box. What do you want to bet?
Or, they've been selling that in the black market also, or to their friends. And why not trade for stuff? They probably got those things. They say, well, we'll give you 25,000 rockets. And I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, the decision they made for the Afghan withdrawal is the first reason and the only reason you need to impeach the bastard as it is. And everyone else who supported it, every one of those military leaders ought to be stripped down to freaking private and sent to the stockade or the brig, pounding rocks for a while, and then kicked out of the military with at least a bad conduct discharge, if not dishonorable, for what they did to America and killing those people who did not have to die when the Marine had them in his stinking sights and nobody would give him permission to fire. I mean,
amen. One more thing, Kimmer.
Yes, sir.
We my boys in the band, and they recorded in Muscle shows last weekend. And when we went through Huntsville and Decatur, Alabama, the rocket factories over there. Yeah. Oh my God! The new ones they're building. I mean, the buildings are just unbelievable. Brand new stuff going up over there. It's just wide open.
I'll be damned. Well, listen, thanks, man. I really appreciate your call. Call anytime. We love our phone calls, and Semper Fi. I'm really, really grateful. Have a good one. And we have Tom. Do we still have Tom on?
Tom, you here?
I'm here, buddy.
I thought
last night.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I thought
that was the greatest. That was the greatest baseball play I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. But what about the bonehead play of the Miami Hurricanes against Georgia Tech?
Oh, but I mean, again, and the coach said, "Oh, it's on me." I mean, but congratulations.
Take a flipping knee and you win the game.
Yeah.
But it's great to hear Nick. He's my neighbor down the street. He's a couple houses down from me.
Now he told me the other day that he missed his wife's anniversary. Apparently,
that's Scott. That's Scott, the ops manager.
That's right.
They look so much alike.
Well, I couldn't tell the difference. Oh, hell, that's right. It was Scott. It was and
one's got a full head of hair, the other's bald.
I haven't had any slam. I have no excuse. I'm not good. Anyway, so what? Now I assume he's like, does he mow his own lawn? Is he? How's he? Is he a good neighbor? Does he borrow stuff and not bring it back, or what?
He's just a regular guy. He's a great guy. His wife Carrie is really sweet. They're just I see him out walking, talk to him every once in a while. But I had a friend of mine that worked with him at a radio station. She said he's just a regular great guy.
Well, that's we all
always enjoy seeing him. And I love to hear him on your show, buddy. Yeah. I rode motorcycles with you in a couple of rides from Earl Smalls.
No kidding.
I got to send you. I got to send you a picture.
Yeah, please do. My God, and I remember all those days with those Cobb County motor coppers doing all those charity rides. Man, that was fun.
Wayne, no offense. I got a picture of you and Wayne, no offense.
Outstanding.
My wife, my wife used to listen to you periodically with me years ago, and I got her to listen to a couple. She said, "Oh my God, he hasn't changed. He's still crazy." He He's wide open.
Yeah, he's still an idiot.
That's a Kimmer. And a lot of hair brushing back then, Kimmer.
Well, that was a long day. Thanks for the memory.
Thanks, Tom.
Hey, Kimmer.
Yeah, man.
Kimmer.
Yeah.
What happened to Connie Chung? Oh, Quimmer.
Oh, Crimmer, you too much.
You too much, Quimmer. I was thinking about that the other day. I thought I got to get back on so I can ask you about Connie Chung.
Oh, man.
Quimmer.
I love it. Those were the days.
Right,
She got Peter principle.
Thanks, man. Talk to you. 4:45 already with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Tom and Nick and Rocco and the whole crew here. Look out. How you doing? 4:49. Oh my. It was on this day, 1970. Black Sabbath, #1 in the British charts with their second album, Paranoid. It contains some of the band's best-known signature songs, including the title track, Iron Man, and War Pigs. I'm guessing one of those is that particular song you're playing?
This is Paranoid.
This is Paranoid. All right, sir. Like I said.
War Pigs.
I don't know. Regarded as one of the classic heavy metal albums. Well, golly, I can't believe I don't know every lyric of every one of their songs. I'm sorry. It's over. Birthdays include the naughty little Tanya Tucker. 65 today. Old school country singer. Well, she's an old school country singer, I guess. Tanya Tucker. And again, with Glenn Campbell on my show, one of the greatest guests I've ever had. I just won't dwell on it, but really just a sweet man. Not long before he started suffering from Alzheimer's, too, many years ago. And he brought his guitar and played and sang and talked and just treasure.
Not a lot of people know that he played with the Beach Boys. So.
That's right, he did. In fact, he was Glenn Campbell was a session musician, and somebody said, "Well, by the way, you can sing too," and all of a sudden became a star, and that's the whole deal. But he was actually just a guitar player, and a great one, by the way. On this day, Semper Fi and Ship Ahoy to our friend Tug. Our morning guy Tug is because the Navy on this day, 1845, the U.S. Naval Academy opened in Annapolis. And the Tug's, ow! Oh, there you go. And he was a Navy guy. I don't really know much about his career, where he went or anything, but he was on boats.
Not sure. I think he was. I believe San Diego for a bit, but I know he was in the Navy for a few years. But
he was on an actual boat. I mean, a lot of guys in the Navy never actually go on a boat.
No, he was on a ship, and he was,
which has got to be really pretty freaking weird. I wouldn't. Oh man, I mean, thank God he didn't have to storm a beach. That'd be the worst part of being on a boat going somewhere to war. But again, Semper Fi to you, Tug, for serving your country and welcome home.
I don't know of many sailors who ever stormed a beach.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, if I had to be on a sailor boat, and he said, "Did you ever go?" I never was on a ship at sea storming a beach. But if I had been on a Navy boat, it would have been because I would have had to storm the beach. That's what I'm saying. So because I was in the other part of the Navy.
That's your job.
I know. That's right. Yeah, that's what I was there for.
Their job is to get you there.
And once in a while they say thank you, and off you go. we'll stay here and make sure everything's back on this area here.
Yeah.
No, just go. No, I have no problem. Oh my God, 4:52.
We'll keep the ship warm for you.
By the way, we'll talk later. Maybe Pete wants to talk. Flounder showed me a tweet from Donald Trump. But first, we got Pete's tweets.
Speaking of Fireball, you were talking about the Fireball lipstick
new
earlier
lipstick
with Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor Swift and Kelsey.
Would you try this?
Yeah.
There's a stadium, I don't know where it is, a ballpark somewhere, that will sell you a fried Fireball shot for $7.
How a Fireball as in the candy, or a Fireball liquor?
I think it's the liquor. I don't know how you make it a fried shot.
How do you make it fried? How do you fry liquid?
I don't know.
Well, I don't get it. Obviously,
they fry ice cream, but...
Well, they need more of an explanation. If they put a coating on it, or they put it, they freeze it, and then, either way, it would melt.
Maybe one of our enlightened listeners knows the answer to that.
Very possible. You're hoping.
Tom wants to know if you would eat this.
All right,
do you like bologna?
Oh, I love bologna. Bologna and peanut butter with mayonnaise and a little slice of Havarti cheese. I swear you'll love it.
How about Oscar Mayer bologna?
I've had Oscar Mayer bologna many years of my life. Yes, I have.
Okay. How about pumpkin spice
never.
Oscar Mayer
pumpkin
bologna?
Nothing. I will never eat pumpkin again. I shall never charge pumpkin. What's that?
You'll put peanut butter on bologna, but not pumpkin spice.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you especially with squishy bread, well, I used to call it squishy bread, Wonder Bread or whatever, squishy white bread, and you put butter on each piece of bread, and then on one piece of bread you put peanut butter as much as you like. If it's too much, a little, whatever, just for taste, for flavor. And then the other, right on top of the peanut butter, you put about 2 slices of bologna or boiled ham, bologna or boiled ham, and then you put a slice of Havarti cheese. Or Munster, or Havarti cheese particularly, or Munster, and then you put mayonnaise on it, and then you put the other piece of bread on it, and then you eat it, and you'll have 9 more.
So what? You didn't have any Vegemite around to put on there too?
Vita Vegemite.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, peanut butter and tuna fish. If you have if you have bumblebee,
Let's move on.
We're walking. We are walking.
And puking.
I haven't had any sleep. I'm sorry.
Molly says if Democrats don't want blame for appeasing Iran and Hamas, maybe they should stop doing it.
Who ever heard of that? What, you a Democrat?
A flight attendant to passenger. Coffee or tea? Passenger. Coffee. Flight attendant. Wrong. It's tea.
Good try, though.
Lou.
It's like the guy has this. The stewardess said, "Would you like dinner on the flight?" And she said, "Yeah." What are my options? She said, "Yes or no."
Lou has a neat trick to pass the time at airports.
All right, sir.
You can buy stickers that look exactly like electrical outlets.
Watch him try.
You put them on the wall and just sit back.
Oh, that's cold.
It is. I hired a handyman and gave him a to-do list.
Yeah.
When I got back, he had only done items 1, 3, and 5.
Oh.
Turns out he only does odd jobs.
Odd jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, ho, hi-oh. Oh.
8 years ago, a grown-ass man entered a local library's library card design contest.
Design.
Not realizing until later it was meant for only children.
Oh.
So he absolutely dominated and won the competition. When he found out it was supposed to be for the kids, he tried to bow out, but the library would not let him because they liked his design the best. And to make matters worse, they made him accept the award for best design at City Hall in front of the kids that he beat.
Oh. But does say what the design was for the cards?
I saw it. They saw it. And frankly, I thought the little girl's was a little better than his. So.
It was for the cards that go into the catalog boxes? Is that what they were doing?
No, the cards you carry around saying that you're part of the library.
I'm sorry. I got you. God, I haven't had holy moly. When's the last time you had a library card?
I got one 2 years ago. I went to the Fulton County one there in Sandy Springs because I needed to order a book. I found out you could order books from them.
Yeah.
And basically, they will search the library system throughout North America, and if another library has it, they will ship it to that library for free. I mean, it's amazing. And they found a book that had been written in the 1950s that had been out of print since the 60s about solo sailors across the Atlantic. And they found it in Birmingham and had it shipped over to me.
Now, do they? I assume they're all modern with computer stuff and everything, but do they have any people there? I mean, if you walk in and say, look, I need help searching for the so-and-so, do they help you or say, go to the catalog?
They were
that
very friendly.
That freaking Webster Bernie cat, what was the name of that cat? The Dewey Dundy system, what was it?
The Dewey Decibel
System. Oh, my God. We used to have classes on how to work it. They used to teachers. Oh, my God. How to find 106.7.4 B8. Well, no, that's in 107.442. Oh, God.
And you know what? When I found out with my Fulton County card, you get like free admittance at least once a year to the Georgia Aquarium. You get a whole bunch of perks. You get into state parks with it for free.
I think the library is a great idea. I had a library card from the library in Brookhaven in probably 1995-ish, in 94 or 5, somewhere in that area, I'll bet you.
You go into a library next time you're around one there in Alpharetta, you'll be amazed how updated.
No, I bet I would.
Really
well, in fact, I voted the last time in a library and was pretty impressed by the whole damn thing. I mean, the fact, the structure of it and the modern parts of it and everything else. So, I mean, yeah.
By the way, if you were offered $100 an hour to clean a cemetery alone at night, would you take that job?
Absolutely. I'll sign up right now because, this ain't... Oh, sorry. No, I would. Yeah, yes, I would. Yeah, not that I need it. Yes, I would. $100 an hour? $800 a night? $800. You're telling me I'd make $4,000 a week? No, that can't be right. Oh, my God. Wait, $100, $800 a night times 4 is $4,000, right? So that's $200,000 a year to clean a cemetery. Where do I sign up? Oh my God, are you serious? That's real?
Yeah, that's real.
Wouldn't you do it?
No.
Why not?
Remember, I've fallen into an open grave at night in the cemetery, so it's not the best place for me.
That's a good point. Good. Well, you had that one, but that one, just the one time.
Yeah. All right, well, that's Beach Streets for you.
Okie dokie. Well, coming up, we have Flounders Funnies, and maybe a phone call or two, because we've actually had a couple, and it's very exciting, I have to tell you. It's kind of like the old days. I mean, not like real old days, but anyway, almost 5 o'clock with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230 if you're of a mind. Holy crap, it's sports coming up also at the top of the hour after the news. We relive that special minute and 10 seconds or whatever it is at 5 o'clock next with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Stand by. And what a play! Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank, ready on your dog. Target. Road guards out. Look out. What a play. I've never seen an ending spectacular play in a playoff baseball game in my life. We've all seen spectacular plays. We talked about the Sid slide, which was a spectacular play, but again,
Sid
slid, they call it, the slide of Sid slid. And I was there when Hank Aaron hit the home run. So, but those things are spectacular. But this was, I've never seen even the shot hit around the world, or shot heard around the world, was still just a home run. It wasn't like a whole series of things that happened, boom, 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 and all of a sudden, holy cow, did I just see that? I mean, even more than the Gibson home run with a one-handed limping around the bases was still one swing and it was over. This was a series of boom, boom, boom that just, I can hardly talk about it. It was so exciting, especially because we won. But again, I don't know. Kimmer, Pete Davis and Flounder, and again, Pete, Holy Crap at Sports coming up, and you're going to tell us more about that catch. Pretty special.
Yes, I am.
Thank you. And now, Flounder. Yeah, this is exactly the way we planned this entire enterprise. Yes, indeed. Holy cow. I guess you didn't see me waving. Anyway, 506, let's call it. Dear God. Anyway, so we'll talk about Holy Crap at Sports coming. Oh, and also, you heard the final call ending the game. Flounder also has the sound. Hey, we'll do this after Holy Crap at Sport. You want to do it now? Pete, all right, let's do it now. This is the sound, and I'll be much shorter this time. This is the sound of the last play of the game, where you'll hear the sound when the batter hits the ball. There's excitement then when there's a catch, and then when there's a throw in and to the thing. There's a 3-step crowd noise, and you'll remember it if you saw it, what happens when you hear this.
From an audio perspective, like I'm looking at the waveform that it's playing, and when the crowd, it goes from -4 dB to 0.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how much it fluctuates in that time. Yeah, it's crazy.
Unbelievable. And again, I mean, I have goosebumps. And again, just that raw sound, and that was just really cool. Just a great play. Oh, all right, 507. What did I miss?
All right, this is a guy by the name of
Flounder's funny.
Yeah, Paul Eli, and he's talking about the updated gay flag.
Oh boy!
Y'all see the new gay flag? Basically, it has like 6 additional colors that represent the transgender and non-binary community. And the thing is, they had gay pride outside my house, and I was watching it. Everybody had like the new gay flag, they're waving it around, which is dope. And then I saw some people with the old gay flag. Is that like the gay Confederacy? I just want to make sure. It's like, I don't want to fuck with dated views. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see the regular gay flag, I'm just assuming they're like, things were great until they came along. That's scary, dude. What if there's like a gay civil war? Which would end up being a dance party.
What's his name again?
That is a guy by the name of Paul Eli.
Paul Eli. Very, very clever. 508, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We'll set the big newsy stuff going on today, and there are some updates, and Pete will keep us up on this stuff, but basically, and Donald Trump, by the way, just released a video, or I guess he didn't tweet it, I guess he social media, what do they call it, he social truthed it?
No, he was on Twitter and he posted it. Yeah, he was on Twitter and he posted it there.
And the video, Flounder showed me the video of dead bodies.
Well, it's actually Hamas in the room killing the people.
Oh, they're doing it live while they're live.
You can hear the gunshots and stuff like that.
I didn't hear. Oh, my God. So the guy's tape recording on his phone while they're actually slaughtering the innocent civilians in their homes.
And again, I got the tweet pulled up, and he said, he's right on key. You don't negotiate with this. There's only one way to handle this.
And again, if you have been working all day or out and about or whatever and haven't heard a lot of the news, one of the top stories is that the Hamas terrorists with guns and grenades storming the quiet Kfar Aza kibbutz in southern Israel slaughtered the men, women, and children, everyone they saw. Houses, strewn furniture all over the place, torched cars, and probably the most important part of the story is that the Israeli soldiers who came to try to clean up afterwards saw all the bodies of the 40 or so babies next to their cribs with their heads chopped off. Babies, children with their heads chopped off and their parents slaughtered and butchered. The soldiers were trying to comfort each other after what they saw. I mean, again, you can't. This is not war. This is slaughtering genocide. I mean, this is not a, we're the bad guys, we have the blue uniforms, and you're the good guys, and you have. I mean, this is not war. Yeah. This is terrorism.
The Israelis only want to live in peace with the Palestinians. The Palestinians want to kill every Jew in there.
Well, do the gun meme again from yesterday that you did. If Hamas would lay down.
If Hamas lays down their weapons, there's peace. If Israel lays down their weapons, they're all dead.
Yeah, there you are. Can you imagine? I mean, I really, in my head, I can't. I didn't even want to talk about this today, and I couldn't stop because it kept coming up when I'm in the morning driving in here. How someone could actually pick up a assumingly crying baby from the crib, and take a sword or a knife and slice her head off. And then what? Throw the body on the floor, human. Or I mean, there's no possible way that you could live with that lack of humanity. I would think. I can't imagine. I literally, it isn't even hatred. It's got to be something lacking. Hatred at least is a thing that you feel. This has got to be some. I can't describe even when I think about it. Chopping off the heads of
bring
babies.
Somebody back from that.
I mean, my God. And by the way, at least 14 Americans dead or gone. And Pete told us a story earlier about this family now has an 85-year-old grandmother who was seen on video being dragged off in a golf cart by heavily armed Hamas guerrilla terrorists over the weekend assault. And of course, she's 85 years old and doesn't have her medicine. She's 85, and she's been one of the hostages. Now, I have not seen, by the way, President Showers with daughter gave a comment earlier, which was, that was horrible, and we love Israel, but I'm not taking any questions because I might say something stupid. Your friend, Barry Light. Anyway, so, I mean, what's going on over there? And Israel, I still bombing the crap out of them, I guess. But again, I don't understand why, I guess because of the hostages. But again, this is not war. There's no Geneva Convention here. This is not, our, rules of engagement. So I don't know how long is, and I heard Netanyahu again. Now, Pete, I may be wrong here, but the latest I heard Netanyahu said, "You ain't seen nothing yet. Basically, we're not sticking around with you people. We're coming to get you, and it's going to be the worst thing you've ever experienced." Am I correct in that? Didn't he say that?
That's true, but here's how far the rot has spread in culture. Every night I'll pop on a little phone. I'll get on my phone and play a little video game. It's a Marvel-type game to pass the time for an hour before I go to sleep. Yeah. And there's a little thing at the bottom where you can talk to each other while you're doing this. I never get involved in it, but every once in a while I glance down there to see what they're talking about. And most of them are like 20-somethings, okay?
Yeah.
And basically the first one I saw was Netanyahu is literally Hitler.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
by trying to exterminate the
literally Hitler.
Oh my God! It's not one world. I can't find Kevin. All right, well, 5:14. Holy crap! It Sports is next, and reliving the ball game. What the heck? Why not? With the Pete Timber and Flounder stand by. Here we go.
The state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every week and over 50 appointments.
There's still 6? Oh, sorry. 5:18. One of our Kimmer babes, Julie's. Oh, she had to go. Maybe she'll call back. It's a 5:18. But first, man, what a night and what a game and what a team as we bring in Holy Crap at Sports with Pete Davis.
And we got some breaking news I'll get to a little bit later. The Falcons have made a trade. But first, let's talk a little baseball here.
Let's do it.
The Astros jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the first up in chilly Minnesota. Right now, it's 4-0 in the fourth inning.
Wow,
so it's 57 degrees up there. It's a little chilly in Minnesota. Yeah. Well, the Braves even their series last night in Truist Park. If only they could have done it in a surprising and exciting fashion. Max Fried struggled, only made it through 4 innings, and the Braves found themselves down 4-0. Local kid Zach Wheeler had no-hit the Braves for almost 6 innings. They had not scored in 14 innings until Ozzie Albies singled. Trey Turner's second error of the evening allowed Ronald Acuna Jr. to score from first. He was paying attention. Later, Travis d'Arnaud would smack a 2-run homer, make it 4-3. In fact, Travis is now tied with Johnny Bench and Javi Lopez with 10 homers for a catcher and postseason play. Only Jason Varitek and Jorge Posada have more, and they have 11.
Holy cow, I had no idea.
Well, you're tied with Johnny Bench in anything.
My God. And what away from the top. Holy cow. Good for you.
Now, of course, there's more postseason games now than when Bench played.
Well, true.
Austin Riley made the first of his 2 great plays by catching a foul ball from the bat of Bryce Harper and foul ground while almost falling over the rolled-up tarp. Now, people don't remember that one because everything else that happened, but the Phillies had 2 men on with just 1 out when that happened. So that was pretty cool. So we go into the bottom of the 8th, still trailing by 1, when Mr. Riley, the Mississippi Masher, did this.
3-2 pitch. And he hits a high fly ball, deep left field, back to the wall, and is gone! Austin Riley hitting him where it hurts, and the Braves take the lead in the 8th.
Hit him where it hurts. I love that. Ben Ingram with the call on 680, the fan.
And they showed the replay was basically one-handed.
Oh, yeah, amazing. Amazing strength he has. Top of the 9th, A.J. Minter walks Harper. Not good, but better than a home run, so that's okay. So in comes closer Raciel Iglesias, trying to continue the good work of the bullpen pretty much all night. After 1 out, up comes pain in the arse Nick Castellanos, who promptly lifts a long fly ball to deep right center. Ben Ingram picks up the tail.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Iglesias looking into his catcher, ready to fire. 2-2. In the air, out towards right center field. Harris going to go back. Harris back to the warning track. He leaps. Michael's got it! He's got it! They fired it in, and it rolls across the infield. Taken by Riley. He throws to the bag. They double him off. Ball game over. Braves win. I've never seen a play like that.
Be very careful, my friend.
Be very careful.
I need to isolate that.
Yeah, we do. We need to put him out. By the way, I'm reading some of the Philly newspapers, and they're just all over Rob Thompson. Well, he screwed up Zach Wheeler again, something like that.
Yeah, please.
So 2 different earthquake monitoring stations in Atlanta picked up seismic activity during the celebration.
Yeah, I no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
It was the 3rd time a Braves player has hit a go-ahead homer in the 8th inning or later of a postseason game. The other players to do it, Michael Tucker back in '98 and Eric Hinsky in 2010. As for what Michael Harris II did, this is what you've been wondering about.
Yes.
StatCast says he had just a 45% catch probability. And that does not fully capture the difficulty of the fact he had to leap up into the wall. He needed to cover 92 feet in 5.4 seconds just to get there before he even catches it. His jump was 5 feet above average.
5 feet above average.
5 feet above average. By the way, it completed the first 8-5-3 double play in MLB postseason history. The first double play ever involving an outfielder to end a postseason game.
It's unbelievable. And I've never seen a postseason, an ending like that, let alone a postseason ending like that.
No, that's something you see in football where a lot of things are going on at the same time. Baseball is usually, like you said, one thing at a time. Not this time.
Yeah, a homer that ends it as one thing or a walk-off that ends it as one event. But this was basically 3.
Well, a lot of the sports websites are comparing to it. This didn't end the game, but remember when Derek Jeter made that play against the Oakland A's several years ago? Here's the shortstop. It was a throw from the outfield. Had no business being on the first base line, but there he was. He catches the ball and tosses it sideways to the catcher, which tags the guy out trying to score. An unbelievable play.
Yeah,
and
that's
what
true.
It looked like last night.
I'd forgotten about that one. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely. But again, what did now wait a minute. He jumped 5 feet higher than average?
Yeah.
than normal? Is that what you, well, if the average person could jump a foot in the air, I guess probably. So he jumped 6 feet off the ground.
I don't know if this has to do with average. I think it's average catches in the outfield, something like that. Okay. StatCast is kind of
anyway.
Weird,
it was a spectacular. I mean, and the other thing got me about it was he was kind of twisting around. I mean, he looked like he knew where he was going. He got
said
a great
before.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to be in the. He said if it's in the gap, I'm going to be there. It's not going to hit the ground.
Yeah. But again, he still had to twist and turn and hit the wall. I mean, it was a remarkable catch. And then fired in, and then again. Austin Riley was in the perfect backup position for exactly the thing that happened. If he had been off where he was by 2 feet, it would not have been a double play at first.
And he said the momentum of him yelling to throw it to first base is why he was there. He was yelling to get there. Yeah. Afterwards, Mentors described the win as just heart and nuts.
Yeah.
I see a T-shirt.
Yep.
Heart and nuts.
I love it.
It's the pearl necklace of 2021.
That's right.
They're now tied at 1 game apiece. They find themselves in Philadelphia, unfortunately, for Game 3 tomorrow night. The weather should be good. Yeah. Braves have not announced a starter. Philly's going with Aaron Nola, who, by the way, is a free agent after the season.
Okay, let's mark that down.
Let's speed the process
he's hurt
up
us
for
enough in the power. Everybody, he's a good one.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher. Yeah. Our NLDS coverage, by the way, brought to you by Marietta Toyota, Truist Bank, Alternate Career Sports Academy, Solomon Brothers, Subaru of Gwinnett, and all together now, Aqua Guard.
They're going to cancel if we do that one more time.
We got to work on that. For some reason, I don't get TNT or TBS, so a lot of these games I have to watch in Spanish, which actually has been quite amusing. I got to tell you. We're getting Andale, Pepsi Cola, Dodgers. Andale, Austin Riley, Atlanta. It's really great listening to it. I love it. I don't miss it at all, to tell you the truth. The Dodgers are now down 2 games to none after losing again to Arizona and Dodger Stadium 4-2. They gave up 3 runs in the first this time. I mean, if they lose 2 years in a row to lesser teams, you got to wonder about Dave Roberts' job.
Well, Arizona, looked pretty. I saw part of that game. I mean, they're not pushovers.
The Dodgers have been pretty damn good since 2016-17. They only have 1 World Series win to their credit during all that time, and a lot of people thought they've had the best team in baseball for some of those years.
Yeah, well, they keep showing up at the top in our division, our league, and against the Braves and stuff. But again, Arizona impressed me, I'll tell you.
They're a hot little team.
Yeah.
And listening to Adam Wainwright on the broadcast has been fun. He sounds like a cross between Chipper Jones and Austin Riley. South Georgia is strong in this one. So here we go. We got the breaking news here. Okay. The Atlanta Falcons have traded for Rams receiver Van Jefferson. The Falcons sent a 2025 6th-round pick to the Rams for Jefferson and a 7th-round selection next year, actually in 2025.
That's nothing.
Jefferson is 4th season out of Florida.
And what do we give up? Do we have to give up a player or make room for him with anything?
Well, the sport started at $5.15, and as I just mentioned, as part of the deal, they send a 2025 6th-round pick for a 7th-round selection.
Okay, but then he's an extra guy on the team. I think you can only have so many guys on the team if you can't join the team unless you get rid of somebody.
Well, they're going to get rid of somebody.
Okay, well, that's what my question was. Have they known who they're going to have to get rid of somebody?
That wasn't your question.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ask a question you didn't know the answer to.
Well, they haven't said yet.
All right, then. Very fine. That's all I was looking if I could be helpful to the people.
I was up late night, too. So
well, there you are.
Yesterday, I mentioned how it may be time to consider Bill Belichick not only the best coach ever, but overrated.
Well, you mentioned that. Yes, you did.
Here's a factoid for you.
No.
While Tom Brady was with Bill had a winning percentage of 774.
Mm-hmm.
Without Tom, it's 465.
Yeah, bye-bye, Coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after Georgia,
after Georgia destroyed previously unbeaten Kentucky in Athens Saturday, Wildcats fans were complaining about how they can't beat the big boys. So head coach Mark Stoops said, well, stop whining and donate more money, because that's what the Bulldogs do. They have enough money to buy the great players.
Oh, ow.
What's true? You buy players now.
Well, okay, but that's what they're saying now out loud about calling coaches, oh, my goodness. Yeah. Well, here we go.
On Sunday, the Philadelphia 76ers official account posted a message regarding the Israel-Hamas conflict, saying, "We stand with the people of Israel and join them in mourning the hundreds of innocent lives lost to terrorism at the hands of Hamas."
It seems like a very nice thing to say.
That's right. The Hawks did the same thing.
Yeah.
A few minutes later, Philly Voice 76ers beat reporter Jackson Frank reshared the post with this message: "This post suck. Solidarity with Palestine always."
Oh, and who's this guy again?
His name's Jackson Frank. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Frank a Jewish name?
Yeah,
mostly
like Anne Frank.
Yeah, it kind of rings a bell there.
Yeah.
By the way, he has since deleted the post.
Oh,
but,
really?
The Philly Voice CEO has tweeted, "Mr. Frank is no longer employed by the Philly Voice." Mr. Frank has declined to comment. The New York Post is the ones who exposed him. He has deleted his Twitter account. His digital publishing career lasted 1 month.
Oh, my. Well,
what an absolute moron. Birthdays on this day: 1920, Frank Sinkwich, College Football Hall of Fame halfback, Heisman Trophy winner in 1942 for Georgia, NFL #1 draft pick for the Lions in 43, NFL MVP in 44. Guess where he was born? Frank Sinkwich. Where do you think?
Sinkwich? Sinkwich. Tupelo, Mississippi.
No, but
Sandwich,
close.
Massachusetts.
Very close. You're getting closer, actually. Starjack, Croatia.
Oh, my God.
What a great place. Yeah, he died in 1990.
Yeah, my little Starjack, you know.
Starjack. Also, happy birthday to Brett Favre and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Well, you didn't give their ages.
No, because I don't care. I know you do.
Everybody else in the mirror. Oh, my God. Okay, people listening in your car driving on right now, bonk your horn if you want to find out. When Pete says, well, Brett Favre's birthday and Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s birthday, don't you want to know how old they are? The answer is yes, bonk your horn. Hear all the bonkings?
Wait a minute. I think bonking your horn is against the sodomy laws of Georgia.
Well, it's very possible.
The horns and
you also left one out too. If you're done, when you're done, I'll reveal that.
Well, I was just going to say, in 1957, the Braves shut out the Yankees 5-0, Game 7, and they beat in 7 games the Yankees for the World Series. Lou Burdett, the MVP.
Lou Burdett. Yeah. Oh, I haven't heard that name in a while. Brett Favre is 54. Dale Earnhardt is 49, and Andrew McCutcheon is 36 today.
Good player.
There you are. Anyway, Holy Crapper Sports, 5:30 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And we got stuff. Don't start now. Jeez, get out of here. Look out. Beginning for Neil Diamond, number one on the U.S. singles chart with Cracklin' Rosie, his first number one as an artist. Neil Diamond spent his early career as a songwriter in the Brill Building, and he wrote the 1966 number one hit, I'm a Believer, for the Monkees. And I remember back when there was a time in my life in the late 70s when I was having some things, and I would sit in the dark and listen to Neil Diamond record. I had his albums, and my favorite song was probably I Am, I Said. And I thought about that. Have you ever heard about a frog who dreamed of being a king and then became one? Except for the name and a few of the changes, you could talk about me because anyway, and it really meant something to me. He was a force in my psychological life when I was an egomaniac. I was changing. I was all of a sudden a TV star, and people. I was a rotten, horrible guy in the 70s, just horrible and ego me. And Neil Diamond would help me kind of.
My girlfriend told me to stop singing "I'm a Believer" or she'd leave me.
Oh, really?
I thought she was kidding.
But
then I saw her face.
And you knew right away. It's like I tell my doctor, I keep singing the green grass of home. And he says, oh, it sounds like Tom Jones disease. I said, well, is that common? He said, well, it's not unusual. Sorry. We can do this for the rest of the freaking show. I don't want to talk about Hamas cutting off babies' heads. Jeez, well, come on,
those
God.
Tweets. We got to talk about the tweets.
Oh, those two. Yeah, check this out. All right, I start with the BLM and then get to Mr. Pilot. All right, here this came down the line. Here you go. Pete Davis, 539 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Here we go.
Okay, I don't have the BLM one, so I want you to do that one, and then I'll do the second one.
Okay, well, here we go. Now, this is unbelievable. No, I can't find it.
Wait a minute, I may have it here. Let me look at my thing.
I had it right in front of me.
Oh, I have it. I have it right here. Let me do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, basically, it's a paraglider. And it's got a Palestinian flag on it. This is from BLM Chicago. It says, I stand with Palestine. BLM would gleefully do to all of us what Hamas did to the Jews. That has always been the case, but some people couldn't see it. Be sure to send these endorsements to all of your friends who posted that stupid black square on social media a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking to choose some of those corporations. And this guy up in Canada, Ezra Levant, just posted a photo. I don't know if this is photoshopped or not. The other ones aren't. It's a guy named, well, I'm not going to say his name in case it is photoshopped. Yeah. He's a pilot with Air Canada.
Yeah.
He flies their 787s into Tel Aviv, okay? He's the guy on that route.
Yeah.
All right, basically, this photo has them dressed up completely in Palestinian gear. Like I said, I don't know if that's the one that has been photoshopped.
The flag and the epaulette and the kind of like a tie around his neck and the colors and the seeing. I mean, the whole deal.
Now, some of it looks photoshopped.
Yeah, it may
but
be
the other ones, he's at the pro-Palestinian demonstrations. One sign he's holding says, Israel, Hitler is proud of you, and it's a terrorist state. Another one, he says, F you, Israel, burn in hell.
Oh, my.
And another one, he's holding up a sign that says, keep the world clean, and it's a person shoving an Israeli flag into a trash can.
Wow. All out for Palestine.
The plane
and that's the pilot?
Yeah.
Flying a plane into Tel Aviv.
Yeah, I'm sure Air Canada is so woke. They were so. Now you got to remember, Justin Trudeau arrested and doxxed the Canadian truck drivers who were trying to. They were protesting legally about the COVID shots and losing their jobs.
And he took away their money. Remember, he confiscated their bank accounts, and he made sure they couldn't even buy gas. He took away all their. They couldn't use credit cards.
Yeah.
And this is an Air Canada pilot.
Yeah, and now you've got people in Toronto openly showing swastikas and going for basically protesting for a terrorist organization. Not a peep out of Trudeau except the BS. Oh, we stand by Israel. By the way, when the world cut off funds over there to Palestine and Gaza, he sent $50 million. Trudeau sent $50 million of Canadian money over to him.
To Palestine?
Yeah.
What the hell? What happened to Canada? I thought they were always like, you stay out of it. They were the eastern version of Sweden, or no, you can come. We'll take your war protesters. We're not going to do anything. It's it's all good. And I in fact I appreciated Canada since the time when Iranian hostages were taken over under Jimmy Carter, and the Canadians helped. I don't know how many Americans escape and hide at their own risk of being killed themselves. And so ever since then, and again, I didn't. I had friends who were conscientious objectors. I don't think I had any who actually fled to Canada, but for those who did, and then Jimmy Carter pardoned them all. But still, I said, well, Canada was just, trying to be, listen, we didn't start this. We're not in it. So if you want to come here and live, we don't have anything against you. So I could understand it. I didn't have a problem with them accepting our protesters, since, it was not their fault. So I've obviously, at least respected them. And now thinking, oh, kiss my ass. I've never seen a country that turned around like this for all of a sudden. What's the matter with this guy? His old man dies, and his mommy was banging Fidel Castro for years in the canoe or something, I guess. It wasn't Geraldo, Jerry Rivers. Geraldo was banging her too, wasn't he?
Who wasn't?
Oh, my God. Raise your hand if you haven't had sex with Pierre Trudeau's wife.
Look at Justin Trudeau now, and look at a photo of Fidel Castro.
It's Castro's kid. The same with Frank Sinatra's baby boy.
Same thing. Same thing.
Woody Allen's son, huh?
I don't know what happened to Canada. He's basically a dictator that does whatever he wants, and they just roll over for him.
Yeah. Well, we'll do a quick thing. Flounder, let's do the Lindsey Graham. Are you back there? I don't know if can we do the Lindsey Graham thing again real quick? He's responding to
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham responding to the squad and telling what we're going to do if Hamas gets ridiculous here. Continuing.
To the Biden administration, your appeasement policies toward Iran is not working. To the squad, shut the hell up.
He says, if Hamas kills one American hostage, we're going to blow up all your oil refineries. Excuse me. Let's see. He said, if I were Israel, I would go in on the ground. There is no treaty here. Dismantle Hamas. And again, we're going to blow up all your oil refineries and put you out of business. It's now time to take the war to the Ayatollah's backyard. And that's what Netanyahu said. He said, you ain't seen nothing yet. And the last I heard, I haven't seen any video or any latest update in the last couple hours, but apparently the Israeli troops are going in on the ground. I haven't seen anything since that headline said they're going in on the ground.
Gotta help them. They're going door to door and in tunnels after them.
Hamas terrorist headline. Hamas terrorists upload barbaric videos to social media. That was the one with the bodies and still shooting, Flounder?
And that was the one Donald Trump Jr. tweeted out.
I got you. Holy cow. Unbelievable.
By the way, I was watching Fox this morning, and Palcott was over there.
Oh, yeah.
And
tell the story.
Mr. Palcott, when he was talking about the Palestinians, he says, well, they say there's been the Israelis, some atrocities over here and dun. When he was talking about what the Israelis said, he said, well, the Israelis claim this, we don't know if this is true. We haven't been able to check this out yet, but they're saying that. And basically, it was like, what are you for the Palestinians? What the hell are you doing, man?
Greg Palcott? That's easy.
Greg Palcott. I had to turn it off. And I thought, well, maybe that was one bad one. I heard his second one. It was just as bad.
Well, Fox sure is not keeping the rein on the...
Well, we just heard the Michael guy on our Fox News, and he did a great job.
Yeah. Well, we have to keep track of them. 5:45. Holy moly, with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Stand by. Look out. Look out. 5:50. How's it going? It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder. And a call from Bobby, I think, coming up here in just 1 second. First, a quick, who's this playing here?
This is Government Mule.
Government Mule. All right, sir. It doesn't have a link to one of the Stones, or who's that?
No. This is the lead guy for this band is a man by the name of Warren Haynes, and he played with the Allman Brothers.
Okay, I know there's a Georgia connection with these. This is a famous local, not really local, but a famous Southerner.
I think you're thinking of Blackberry Smoke, who Pete talks about all the time.
That's what I'm thinking of. You're absolutely right, sir. And this is
real quick.
Yeah.
Air Canada has responded to what we were talking about earlier about that pilot.
Yeah.
We are aware of the unacceptable posts made by an Air Canada pilot. We are taking this matter very seriously, and he was taken out of service on Monday, October 9th. We firmly denounce violence in all forms.
It's unbelievable. The Mia Khalifa, a quick comment. Again, Mia Khalifa used to be a porn star. And again, ladies, if your husband comes home or you're talking to him and said, hey, have you heard this Mia Khalifa? I think she's kind of a State Department spokesman, see if he falls for it. Mia Khalifa was a porn star. They put a fatwa on her saying, well, you don't represent the Arab world very good. We're going to kill you. So she quit her official porn stuff. But then she started working for Playboy. Playboy now just fired her because she made some comments publicly supporting Hamas and the Arab murderers. And so Playboy said, we're writing today to let you know that our decision to terminate Playboy's relationship with Mia Khalifa. She's made disgusting and reprehensible comments for celebrating Hamas's attacks on Israel and the murder of innocent men, women, and children. At Playboy, we encourage free expression and construction of political debate, but we have a zero-tolerance policy for hate speech. So there you are. And by the way, Pete's going to tell us about Newt Gingrich's plan if you haven't heard it. By the way, I forgot to give birthdays. Ben Vereen is 77. He played Chicken George in Roots, among other things. And a quick, I like a TV thing. Here we go. 1957. The TV show Zorro, starring an apparent gringo, Guy Williams, debuted on ABC television. His real name, though, was Armand Catalano. Zorro. 1957. In 1975, Elizabeth Taylor married husband number 5, Richard Burton, again, a little over a year after they got divorced. And they got married on this day in Botswana in secret in 1975 and got divorced again 10 months later. Come on, lady, make up your mind. Anyway, all right, 5:53. Is it Billy? Did I get to Bobby, I think. Bobby, you're on the radio. Welcome, and thanks for calling, sir. What's up?
Hey, Kimmer, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Welcome. Thanks.
Hey, sure. I was just thinking when I was reading about, we've got a fleet of naval ships going over there to the Mediterranean to help out with Israel there.
Yeah, warships.
And, yes, and of course, we don't need much instigating to get involved in war hawks, sure. But one thing that concerns me is that we know that in the past, Israel has attacked American warships, tried to sink them, and killed American servicemen, like in 1968.
Yeah.
And I would hate for something like that to happen, to trigger us to get into a war, them thinking or wanting for us to get presence there and just attacking us, but trying to cover it as another entity attacking us. And being like, look, there you go. Now we have to go into war.
Well, we are in such a dangerous situation now. And again, it's all because of the leadership and the lack of leadership and where we stand in the world's view right now today. This would not be happening if the people of the world respected America like they used to. I mean, it's just, we're in a dangerous situation. I mean, my God, what do they think? It's like they're children. I mean, my God, Blinken and douchebag actually says, well, we need a ceasefire now. Well, my God, man, what are you kidding me? These people are nuts.
I just wanted to get that out there.
Thanks.
Sorry, man.
No, thank you, Bobby. It's always glad to, if you're pro or con, either way, if you're calling us, you're okay with me, and I appreciate it. 404-741-1230, 1230. By the way, I forgot to mention, it was, and Flounder, I think Flounder found this also. In 2003, Rush Limbaugh announced. Well, is this his announcement or just him talking? Do you know? Didn't you get...
What's that?
About the Rush thing? Rush?
Oh, yeah, right.
Is it his announcement or is it just him talking?
No, it's him briefly talking about, like, he just got out.
Okay, well, it was on. Let me do this then first. On this day in 2003, Rush Limbaugh announced he was addicted to painkillers and was going into rehab. And here's Rush Limbaugh after that.
I'm nervous. I have butterflies in my stomach. I've been anticipating this moment since last Thursday. Actually, since last Wednesday afternoon. Last Wednesday afternoon, I was discharged from the treatment center, which, by the way, was not in Tucson. We succeeded in fooling everybody on that. And it was an intense 4 weeks. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I spent 5 intense weeks, probably the most educational and informative 5 weeks on myself and about me that I ever have spent, and I would have had no idea how to do this myself.
Rush Limbaugh, after he got out of rehab, but again, he had that horrible ear issue and surgeries and implants and cochlear or something or other, and what a nightmare for a long time. And still, God, when did he die? It's been... God, it's been
like 2-3 years.
Oh, it's been at least, I think. Isn't that funny? I can't think of how far back it was. I should have figured this out. Anyway, whatever. It's a shame. Oh, by the way, speaking of tragedies, on this day in 2004, it says here, the entire planet mourned a world without a Superman when the great Christopher Reeve passed away. 2004, fell off a horse in a jumping event and broke his neck. And... in fact, the last horse I rode, I fell off a few weeks ago. the Apollo, the Frisian. I was trying to reach for my phone in my ass pocket. I was riding him bareback with no bridle, just a rope thing, and riding him bareback. And I said, I was going to get a selfie of this. So I reached behind me to my rear pocket and slid right on my ass. I just zoop. Horses are slippery with no saddle on them. So I was reaching behind, leaned over, oh God, and boom, pow. So anyway, that's idiot. So I'm going to have to ride him again because I'm not going to have the last time I got on a horse, I fell off. So,
real quick, Rush died in February of 2021.
Okay. 2 years ago and a little bit. You were right. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Pete Davis, if people are wondering what the hell's going on in the Middle East, give us a quick recap of what Newt Gingrich suggests and as a proposal.
Well, actually, in Congress, Tlaib and I think Cory Bush and what's-her-face, Ilhan Omar, have tried to get a resolution passed to stop all U.S. aid to Israel. So other Democrats are coming out attacking them, so now they're fighting amongst each other there. And the Daily Mail has actual photos right now of the soldiers bringing the bodies out. And one of the soldiers actually found a dog that was still alive. But they're talking about a terrified 90-year-old grandmother's last moments. She was dragged into her living room and shot twice in the head.
Oh, my God.
A sobbing Israeli woman said she listened in horror from the other room as her 12-year-old autistic daughter was kidnapped while clinging desperately to her grandmother. Yet, we should worry so much about the Palestinians.
Well, they deserve to fight back against those Jewish people for all they've done. Again, what did the Jewish people do that would require them to have their heads of their babies chopped off in their freaking cribs? Bomb these people. Firebomb the bastards. How about a little napalm? How about a little Agent Orange? It cost me cancer, but it sure was freaking effective. Of course, they don't need trees to blow up over there, but oh my God.
Well, Newt Gingrich had some good stuff to think about this. He says, we should tell Iran, if you try and get involved, we will take away your capacity to make any oil or refined oil. We will just completely eradicate it. We should have B-52s over Lebanon right now, warning Hezbollah, do not even try anything.
Yeah.
And basically freeze the $6 billion. Don't let it go to Iran.
Well, we thought that was already gone, but if they still have it, freeze it. Boys, God bless America. Pete Davis and Flounders coming up on 6 o'clock, and I just realized the next time I'm going to get my next girlfriend like I like my scotch, about 25 years old and in the basement. But that's a whole other. That's coming up on show. Herb, have a great day. I gotta go. You're killing me if I can look. Herb, look out.